From the heart of Raider Nation, where loyalty runs deep, the silver and black never fade, and every first down brings us closer to victory. It's time to talk Raiders. The triumphs, the heartbreaks, the biggest plays, and the hottest takes. Featuring your host, 401 Raider Jeff! And his co-host, Raiders First Downs! Two voices, one nation, all Raiders. Welcome to the show! This is Raider Nation Voices.
What is up, Raider Nation? Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a while since Jason and I have been on together. It's been a minute. But we are live. We are here. We are living. Yeah. So, new intro Jason made up. I think it was pretty killer. I liked it. I liked that a lot. So, thank you, Jason, for making that. That was actually pretty damn good. It was cool.
Yeah, anytime.
Cool. I like the way I morphed into like some sort of superhero firefighter.
Mech firefighter.
And you look like the Silver Surfer with a hockey mask on. Well, everybody, training camp is here. Finally, we got a few days into training camp now. First preseason game of the NFL season kicks off on Thursday night, the Hall of Fame game. So football season's starting to really feel like it's here. Right? You feeling that now? You feeling it, Jason?
Yeah. You can, the hot weather and the blades of grass and bring you back to the days of the sweaty days when you take your pads off and you're all wet and hot and grass stuck to your face and good times.
Kind of graphic, but okay, I'll go with it.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So we, like I said, we're back live now. So training camp's in full swing now. We're getting some reports coming out of camp that are positive, I would say. Seeing finally some continuity here. What's your initial feeling so far from what you've heard and what you've seen as far as any reports coming out of our camp?
So in the mornings when I listen to the morning tailgate, they're there in the morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. They go live at 7 o'clock in the morning, and so they're already there, and you can hear them. And like last year, this is different. This is different. Well, this year, one of the things that they pointed out is what we're seeing is, and this will make you happy, is the offensive line coach is coaching. He's actually demonstrating the techniques, which is he's more of a hands-on type of guy. Been around the business for a long time. He knows how to coach. Probably one of the best of all time to ever coach in the NFL as an offensive line coach. And it's going to pay dividends, my friend. It's going to pay dividends.
Hope so.
Yeah.
So let's check in here. Let's see who's stopped in to spend some time with us tonight. We've got A.O. Anthony in the house. Tokyo Raiders here. Raider Ben stopping in. What's up, Ben?
What's up, Ben?
Cool Kev's in the house.
Cool Kev.
Not a bot. Rorschach's here. What's up, Rorschach? We've got Darren. And Not a bot says, we ain't ready for some football is what I take away from it. I don't know about you. I'm ready for it.
No, I'm ready.
Yeah. Darren says, imagine an O-line when we have a coach. Correct? Right? I mean, all indications point to it should be a good front starting five for this offensive line, being coached the right way. Like you said, if he's out there actually showing them physically how, what to do and how to do it, I mean, that's something that didn't happen at all last year.
Yeah.
Last year's coaching staff was here to just collect a paycheck and talk to chicks.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of video footage and shit and pitches showing him staying on the sidelines instead of being with his offensive line squad over there talking to women on the sideline. So it was such a waste last year. Manuel's in the house. Look at this. Look who popped in. We got Coach
Oh
Gravy
yeah,
tonight. What's
Coach
up,
Gravy.
Gravy? What's going on,
Oh
brother?
yeah. Long time no chat.
So we didn't open up the phone lines just yet. We will definitely let you know once we do, but we are going to do them. We will open it up. So I am going to point some questions directed to you, Jason, and to the chat. So training camp so far. I know we're only a few days in, but what have you heard as far as who's actually standing out? Like who's making noise there?
Well, Hakeem Massis, obviously, he's like playing with the ones, as a fifth round pick. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Early
What's
into
up,
the camp. Yes, they haven't put pads on. Yes, he's a little bit more slight physically, so it's going to change the dynamics of that. But just the mere fact that he's picking up all the information, retaining it, and staying on top of it at this rate, that's pretty impressive.
Pads come on tomorrow, or is it Monday?
Monday, I think.
Monday.
I think they just started using their gator pads, I guess what they call them. And then I think it's Monday. Don't quote me on that. I'm not absolute on it. I'll know more. Well, we'll know more tomorrow when they practice tomorrow, whether or not it's tomorrow or Monday.
Yeah.
So, but pads are coming on, so so.
And that's where things start to take shape, and unfortunately with pads going on and the hits coming, let's face it, there will be injuries. Let's face it, definitely it's going to happen. It happens in every training camp, no matter what team. You're going to have these bumps and bruises. As long as it's nothing that's season-ending or career-ending. I know something went down yesterday with Quiddy Pay left practice early with the trainer, but he walked off under his own power, so that's a big positive. They haven't really said. I still haven't seen anything. I don't know if you've heard anything.
No, I haven't heard anything yet either.
I heard a rumor it was possibly because of dehydration, and they kept him out of practice the rest of the day. So if it's just dehydration, that's fine with me. Then I know that's nothing serious. But something good did come out of that, though, because once he went down, or once he left, they moved Kuntz right into his immediate spot after that. And Kuntz was taking that, first team snaps from there. So that just tells you that Quiddy Pay's definitely solidified himself opposite of Max, and the immediate backup for him is Kuntz coming out there. So that is a positive in a way, I guess you could say. But other than that, I haven't heard of any other injuries in training camp. Have you?
No. It seems like our health spectrum right now is pretty damn good. So
yeah, just be happy we're not in the NFC South. The NFC South is getting decimated.
And the 49ers.
With season and the 49ers, too. Yeah, you're right.
I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if we win that game. It just, to me, the 49ers it looks like a shit show right now. I mean, even their coach is on fucking IR.
Yeah, they said that he's. Yeah, I was reading something on the show last night about him, and it said that his duties were reduced coming into training camp,
right,
because of that accident. So,
yeah,
I don't know what that fully means. If he's going to face any type of disciplinary action, I don't know. I mean, it all remains to be seen as far as what happens with that accident. The severity.
I'm calling shenanigans on that situation too, because look how long it got before it got reported since the accident, and he admitted he caused the accident, but yet the primary collision factor was her. And CHP does this stupid shit. Is they blamed it on her? And it's like, well, how the hell you blame it on her? He came over into her lane and hit her. How does that happen? Just makes you wonder of what was going on.
Let's see who popped in here. We got
maybe Diana Rossini was in the car with him.
It's possible. She moved out from Brable. She went from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Yeah.
Ani says, do you feel if players that are not talked about just do their job, don't stand out? Do Raider insiders protect poor performances, in your opinion? I don't think they protect poor performances. I just think that the coaches, they're not going to come right out and say, "Oh, this guy looks horrible in practice." The player may come out and say he felt as though he had a bad practice, But I think the coaches are going to keep saying the right things to keep a positive light on everything. I can't imagine a coach coming out and saying, the guy looks horrible, or,
Nah.
unless the guy's a head case and he's caused issues, then a coach may say a little bit more. But these coaches have to keep some sort of decorum when it comes to talking about their players. I mean, number one, they're human beings. They are your employees, So be like your boss coming out publicly at the office saying, "This guy's a jackass. He's horrible. I don't know why we hired him." So I can't imagine them not calling him out.
And same with the the insiders are going to do the same thing that are inside the building that are getting the takes and stuff. They don't want to cut their nose off to spite their face when they get information or they see something. So even Vinny Bonsignor, I love the guy. Watch him all the time. I listen to him all the time. He won't come out and say, "Oh, Geno sucked," or like 2 years ago when it was Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. He didn't come out and say they sucked. He just said, "Not a good performance."
Yeah, I mean that
just keeps it real. Not a good performance.
Yeah,
So it's like they're not going to come out and do they're horrible, they're crappy, they're trash, whatever lingo people are expecting. They're gonna do it and be polite and professional about it. But and then there's some guys that will bullshit you too. Oh, you look good after he threw 5 interceptions today in practice.
What's up, Inland Empire Raider Mike? What's going on, man? Just
Sana.
Darren says something was BS on San Fran coach. Cop was hiding shit from him.
Yep.
Ernest is in the house. What's up, Ernest? Lucky number for 2026 is 11. I've seen some of those, I guess, like NFL insider predictions. Some of them have got us at like 8-9 or 9-8. That's crazy. I just
hard
can't do that many games.
It's really hard to fathom that kind of win total. It really is. I mean,
yeah. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't see it. I mean, if it happens, that's awesome. I'm fine with it if it happens.
Well, but here's this. This is what I ask. Let's say it does happen. Let's say we go 8-9 wins this year. Right? Are you going to be like, oh, we're just going to do that much better in 2027? Or because we saw it with, like in the Jack Del Rio era, we went 12-4, and then we turned on what 7-9, 6-10. Mm-hmm. After like we saw so much promise in 2016, and then 2017 it was like,
I mean, your first reaction after you go 9-8 and you just missed the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. Your first reaction is, well, we should only get better next year, and it's the right reaction. You probably should have, because the team's on the up and up. It looks like we had a good performance by the offense all year long. The defense looked tremendous. How can you be worse the following year than what you were? The year prior. How do you go from a 9-8 back down to a 3-win, 4-win team? And that becomes, I think that a lot of that ends up being complacency by the players.
Yeah.
The coaches getting too comfortable in a case. That's why I think it's a slow build to where the team ultimately should be. So that's why I can't put a high ceiling on the wins and losses this year.
No. But type of wins that we get, and how do we quantify our losses? Not quantify, but how do we compare our losses to last year, right? Mm-hmm. So no more 31-0, no more of this shit where they're in victory formation with 7 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter type crap. That's embarrassing, when they do that. I mean, literally, I think it was the Broncos, and they were only up by 1 score, and they went into victory formation. They were like, we'll punt it back to you. You ain't going to score anyway, so it don't matter. So, and it's like, jeez. What do you do? I mean, but what we do is we erase last year and move on to this year and look for improvement. Just that's the key, and you start to visualize what Kubiak and Spytek are cooking up for the next 5 years. That's what we're looking for. So, and have fun.
Arnie wants to know if that's a signed Howie Long jersey in the background.
No, I don't have any song. The only autograph I have from Howie Long is on a game day program, and so yeah, back then we didn't have jerseys when I got his autograph.
Ernest says 11 means either wins or losses. Okay, the 11 losses I can definitely see.
Yeah, that's 6 wins, right? 11 losses is 6 wins. That's an improvement.
All of the old line will play a lot. Yeah.
No.
I'm just trying to have for every game, and it will be a great season no matter how many wins we get. Absolutely. Yep. Like I said before, I want to see continuity. I want to see progression. I want to see the offensive line and the offense itself get better as the season goes on. No. Wide receivers have got to step up. We'll talk about all that stuff too. No. So let me ask you this then. I'm going to bring this one up. So biggest training camp surprises so far. What's the one you're most impressed with? Not necessarily a rookie. It could be a veteran too.
Second-year veteran Tonka Hemingway. And I talked about this in previous shows way back when. Our defensive line, the success of our defensive line, is if J.J. Pegues and Tonka Hemingway take that next step. And we saw some of it out of Tonka. He got, 5 games towards the end of the year, 6 games, something like that. Ended up with 4 sacks in a short amount of time. But it wasn't just that. You could just see him. It was like he was coming to life as a young kid. And from what I'm gathering, what they're saying, he's running with the ones. And they're 10 toes in on this kid's going to play a lot. If he doesn't start, he's going to be in there getting a lot of reps game day. So
I wouldn't disagree with that one at all. Because we got to do something on that defensive line. Somebody's got to compliment Butler a little bit more. I know Booker's still there. So it's just nice to see that, we could have some sort of a pretty solid rotation of these guys too. So you get the possibility of having fresh legs out there on a continuous basis, which will help, especially against some of these offenses we have to play. If they get us a drive going, we need to get guys in there that can help stop that drive. Right. Guys that are fresher than the guys that were out there from the start of the drive too. So I think that's a big deal for sure. Arnie says Masses, Laube, Genty, Max Bowers, every practice, every game. Hezekiah Masses is making a name for himself, it seems. He's getting a lot of play time. And so is, Dylan Laube is making the best. Because I think Laube realizes that this is a make or break it.
Yeah, it is for him. Yeah.
Collier got waived, so Collier is going. So Laube's next on the list. He's going to be last of the depth chart. The one thing that helps him is his special teams experience.
Yeah.
If he makes it for special teams only, then that's where he's going to be regulated to. I don't see him getting much play at running back. I really don't.
No.
Oh, my kid's in the chat. What's up, JT? It's my son. Let's see. Only have 5 dogs on this team: Genty, Max, Bauer, Linderbaum, AJ Cole.
AJ Cole.
AJ Cole for MVP every year since he's been in the league.
You can throw.
I don't disagree with that. Can you pick another 5 that's better than those 5?
I can throw. A healthy Colton Miller. You could throw him in there.
Take out AJ Cole.
Yeah, we'll just start leapfrogging AJ Cole because he's a punter. I'd say Miller, N'Kobe Dean, Quay Walker. You guys, if you haven't seen Nakobe Dean play, just go watch that Philadelphia versus Chargers game. And I can tell you right now, week 2, when we play the Chargers, there's one person. Not only do they have Max Crosby, but this guy kicked the shit out of me last year, and that's Nakobe Dean. He was just wreaking havoc in the backfield.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a bigger impact than some people are thinking.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the 2 starting linebackers we have. What bothers me is the depth after that. That's, in my opinion, that's the issue. You know, we got to rely on the Berg brothers. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we drafted and we got a couple of undrafted free agents that could make an impact on this, but
yeah.
If Dean goes down, we're screwed. Granted, if Walker's still in there, okay, it's okay. But man, you lose Nakobe Dean, I think that's a big deal. That's a huge deal, you know. And he's the green dot guy now too.
Yeah, but they've been pretty happy with Cody Lindenberg. Shout out to 805, our 7th rounder out of Minnesota. Cody Lindenberg. Yeah, they're pretty happy with him. And you know, you look at his physical makeup; he physically looks like a middle linebacker. And he's got some twitch. I just think it's just a matter of putting his game together at the NFL level and improving.
Definitely. Shout out to Rorschach with the $4.99 super chat. Raider Jeff and Jason Downs. Here's to the Dunkin' Donuts Iced Coffee Fund. It's nice to be back, fellas, and to see and hear Raiders info. Yeah. We're back tonight, but you got something next Saturday, right?
Nope. Not till September 4th. I am good to go. September 4th.
Oh, I thought you had to. When'd your daughter's wedding?
My daughter's wedding's in October 18th, the day we play the Bills.
Oh, all right. So we'll be back next week then. I was wrong.
Yeah. So there's, I have 3 dates. One of which is with you that we're both going to be off.
Yeah, we'll be in
week
Vegas.
1. Because we'll both be in Vegas. Who knows? Maybe we could throw something together and do. I'm not taking no laptop or anything, so
I'm taking all my shit. But I'm going to be going for 2 weeks, so it's a little different.
Yeah. But so that week we won't have a Raider Nation Voices. September 4th, I'll need somebody to fill in for me, and October 17th, I'll need somebody to fill in for me.
All right.
Do I get a pick?
Huh?
Can I pick who fills in for me?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Within reason, I guess.
Within reason. I can get a good stand-in. Trust me, I can find somebody.
Don't get me like I'm not bueno or.
Seriously, you're gonna bag on I'm not bueno already. Rorschach hadn't even got a chance to dig him out of the closet and bring him up to the stage for us yet. So there's a fresh gallon of milk in that refrigerator, so we might not see bueno till later on.
Yeah, right. What's up, Lucky? I see you in here. Dixon Sight is here. What's up, Dixon?
Dixon Cider. Baker Wider.
Lewis is in here. What's up, man? How you doing? What's up, Great Value Rock? What's up, man? Zeke Mass is the real deal or intimidation? It sure as hell seems like he's the real deal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing from the reports coming out. And it's funny. I talked about this Tuesday night with Leo on Mostatoria show. I know early in the season or earlier this year, before the NFL draft, everybody's doing their mock drafts and everything. I know I had grabbed him a couple of times in some of my mocks, but I saw a lot of Raider content creators that would do mock drafts were consistently drafting him at some point in the draft. Mm-hmm. So that's what kind of started me really kind of paying attention to him. And then when I started looking into him, I'm like, all right, this guy could be a good, later round type pick. And then bang, we end up with him, So it's like, and again, if he turns out to be what his potential seems to be, I think we scored big with the secondary draft picks this year. I think we hit some home runs here.
Yeah, if we can get two of those picks to hit, that's a win. Let me tell you.
I mean, right now you're looking at Massis is having an impact. Stooks is having an impact. And then if McCoy turns out to be, play at that level that he did when he last played in 2024, you're talking about three guys that are going to be the future of the secondary for a long time to come.
Yeah.
And you look at where we got a guy like McCoy, 4th round. A guy that probably would have been a first round, very early second round had he not been injured.
Oh, they had him slated top 10.
Yeah.
He was a top 10.
I mean, the fact that he fell to us at number 4, and I've said this before, he's low risk, high reward type guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think this is probably one of the better drafts I've seen come out of from this team in a long time, because we got guys that can play across the board here. Mendoza, that was a no-brainer at number 1. We all, as bad as some of us wanted to trade back, we knew that wasn't going to happen. It was just a matter of trying to hold out hope for it. But then you look at Crawford and you look at Stooks, and you look at Masses, McCoy. I mean, we got some guys here that can play. And they come from good programs. So I'm excited to see where some of these rookies end up. It's going to be interesting. Big Luck, what's up, Big Luck? What's going on, man? Countdown is at 39 days right now. 39 days, and I will be landing in Vegas.
I think mine's 41. Come in 2 days later.
Yeah. What's up, Kenneth?
What's going on,
Kenneth?
Kenneth?
A lot of people rocking here with us tonight. We got 36 in the house.
Yeah.
So
hit those thumbs, man.
Yeah, make sure you guys hit those thumbs. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe to both channels. I'm 401 Raider Jeff. My buddy next to me is Raiders First Downs, better known as Jason Downs, but his channel is Raiders First Downs. Make sure you sub to both channels, hit the notifications, hit the thumbs up, share the show, man. Get it out there. This is a live call-in show, so we will be opening the phone lines in a few minutes.
Yep.
And you guys are more than welcome to call in. Just a little note on the phone calls. Jason and I can both hear you, but you will only be able to hear me if you're on the phone. So if you have a question specific for Jason, you can ask the question because he'll be able to hear it. But if you want to hear his answer, your best option is to hang up and then watch the response on YouTube or whatever, wherever you're watching from, so you can hear it. Because if you're trying to listen to it through YouTube while you're on the phone, the echo and feedback is horrible. So make sure you turn your YouTube volume down before you guys call in. So just wanted to put that little public service announcement. So I appreciate that.
And if it's a good question, I'll even respond in the chat for you. So
there you go.
That way it's we're gonna get this bug worked out one way or another. If I have to
I got to
buy the equipment and
figure that out this week more. It's just driving me nuts. So Dixon says, I don't think anything serious that people report in training camp. I get that. But when you got people there that are seeing the physicality of how some of these guys are, that's different. Somebody that's coming off of an injury, coming back to practice, like Max, like how does he look out there? Coming off the line on the snap, making those cuts. Does Genty look like he's making better decisions? Even though I know it's helmets and shorts, but is he looking like he's making progression versus what he looked like last year?
Somebody's getting a phone call.
It's my old page is still going off. So I'm just trying to catch up here in the chat. Let's see. Silver Smoke's in the house. What's up, Silver Smoke? Dennis, I would be willing to bet 1 dozen Dunkin' Donuts that Mendoza starts at some point this season. I mean, I think he'll probably start at some point, but I think it's at the end of the season, obviously. Unless he pulls a Derek Carr in training camp and just totally mystifies everybody and just lights it up and leaves no choice but to start him, then by all means start the kid. If they feel as though he can handle it, then start him. Yeah. Now you're going to get that value for that pick too. He's going to start right away instead of sit.
Well, I don't really see the value in the pick until the second or third year, anyways. So it's
No, I
usually
get that too. Let's see. Today was a special day in Raiders history. I believe in August
91 or 92. I was
91 or
inducted
92.
into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it was 91 for him, wasn't it?
91 or 92, I can't remember.
I thought it was 91. Why throw Mendoza into a shit suit? I get it. I get it. But if they feel as though he's ready and they're confident in the line protected him, I mean, then why not? You know, I again better sooner than later, to be honest with you. You know, because that will make the whole Kirk Cousins thing an easier decision comes next. You know, before the NFL, the new season or the new year starts in 2027.
No. And I don't think this is going to be a shit soup like last year, because one of the things that has been pointed out in this training camp is there's really not a whole lot of fluff in these practices like last year. Not a whole lot of people dancing in line with the music blaring, waiting. You know, hey, you're next up in line. Oh yeah, my turn. Everybody, it's real fluid. Everybody's moving. Everybody's getting to their spots, and they're getting their reps in. Because one of the things that Kubiak was going to drive home, and he said this when he first got hired, was we only have a limited amount of time out on the field. We got to make every minute count. So it's like, you know, eventually they'll get their music so they can rock out while they're practicing. But right now, that's not the time. It's get to it. We're full steam ahead, and we got a lot of material to cover before we put the pads on. So let's get after it.
So let me ask you this: we're looking at position battles that are heating up. So if we start with the quarterback, so right now the pecking order is Kirk Cousins, Mendoza, AOC 12. That's what they got it listed at right now. So do you think it's settled completely, or can this change in camp? What's your take on that?
Yeah, it can change in camp. Most definitely it can change in camp. It just depends. It all depends on his progress and how he gets up to speed with the offense. Because they're not going to put him out there if he can't call the proper line protections, he can't call the proper checkdowns, or get into the right play. Because he's going to be given 3 plays now when he goes to the line of scrimmage, not just one. There's 3 plays, and you got Tyler Lindenbaum to work with. That's a huge asset, man. Because I was watching a thing today on Travis Kelce and Jalen Hurts, and that was one of the things that Jalen Hurts really depended on Travis Kelce to get them into the right play. He would change out of a play, and it's like he would turn around and look at him like,
"Oh, Jason Kelce."
Yeah, Jason Kelce. Did I say Travis Kelce?
Yeah, you did. That's why you had me confused for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, Jalen Hurts never played with Travis. You had me confused.
If I said Travis Kelce, I'm sorry.
No,
we all know it's Jason Kelce. The good Kelce, not Mrs. Swift.
Yeah.
So, and that'll be huge. So it's going to take time, man. It's a different position than the other 21 that are out on the field. So he's got so much more that he's got to digest before they can put him out there. So be patient. And just because Kirk Cousins has a bad game, don't be screaming, "He sucks! Get him out of there! Find him Mendoza!" Then you put Mendoza in, and he's not ready.
It's going to happen anyway. You know.
Oh, I know. It happens at every franchise that gets a first-round quarterback.
If Kirk Cousins starts game 1, right, as soon as he throws an interception, you're going to hear it. The fans are going to start screaming, "Put Mendoza in!" You know they are. It's just the way fans are, you know, and with him being anointed the chosen one, the next greatest thing since sliced bread to ever hit the Raiders, they're going to want him out there. The fans are going to be screaming for it. You know what's going to happen. But I just want to make one note. There was a video out the other day of somebody watching Mendoza going through like the mental reps. I talked about this with Nate on Thursday. And the person was complaining, or not complaining, but pointing out, why is he getting so low when he's in that mental stance, like taking the snap? And the way I explained it, because that came up on Thursday night, the way I explained it is, number one, you're talking about a guy that has very, very limited time taking those snaps out from underneath center. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you do things, the more your muscle memory kicks in and you get used to it. So he hasn't had that chance of, I think it was 10 snaps on the center last season. So
I think it was less than that.
yeah, so his muscle memory is not there because he didn't do it enough. The repetition wasn't there for him to fully grasp that. So if the whole coming out from under center is going to be fairly new to him on a for it to be a more consistent basis based on the offensive system, he's still not sure in his own mental process of how low he has to actually get to receive the snap. That's one aspect. The other one is that may be how low Linderbaum gets. Every center has a different center of gravity when they go up to hike the ball. They all have a different height to their ass. It's not like it's a uniform height, how do we even say it? Like a coach doesn't tell you, like, you got to make sure you're at this degree with your knees and all that. No, it's how low you are as an offensive lineman at center that gets that way. Yeah. And when I played, we had a 6'4", 6'5" quarterback, and when he was behind me on snaps on the center, I was so low that he looked like he was about 5'2" standing behind me, because I got my ass that low to the ground, and I did that for one reason. One, I had better balance coming out of the snap, and I was usually lower than the shoulder pads of the defender in front of me, which means they weren't going to get up underneath me. And that was the big thing. If you can keep that center of gravity low, that's how, as an offensive lineman, you keep the better position against your defender. So each offensive line or each center lines up differently. So that may be where Linderbaum sets his ass before he snaps the ball. So again, he may still not understand like how low he has to get, or if he even gets up taller, because who knows at this point. So for them to sit there and say, why is he doing this? Give the kid a break. He's still learning that facet of the game as a quarterback. It's not something he did, repetitiously, where just you get down in that stance automatically because, this is what you remember doing all the time. And again, that's that muscle memory thing. So, that's going to be some of the learning curves that he's going to go through in training camp. But again, that's where he gets all the kinks worked out of it. And hopefully he gets a shit ton of play time in preseason. I'm sure that's what everybody's hoping for.
Yeah. And the important part about that is those will be times where he can be hit. So you're not going to be wearing a red jersey. Yeah, it's preseason. You're going against the 2s and the 3s, but still, at that point, you could be hit. And 2s and 3s in the pros are still better than the college players you just played. So you're going to play better competition against 2s and 3s in preseason. So that's an elevation of competition for him, that he goes in, he plays the 2s and 3s of other teams, and get those repetitions. And every quarterback is different. You're absolutely right, Jeff. No two quarterbacks are the same at taking a snap from under center. Some people, there's been some people they only put one hand underneath, and as soon as the ball hits the hand, they drop that left hand or the right hand, depending on which side they're strong, and then they drop it down and scoop the ball out. Or there was one years ago that he could take a snap from under center with just one hand. As soon as the ball hit the palm of his hand, just grab it and pull it out. And I couldn't tell you, I want to say it was Randall Cunningham that could do it. That he could literally just, as soon as the ball hit, bam, he'd grab that thing with this, like palm, because he had such big hands that he could just.
Yeah, like a basketball player can palm a basketball, yeah. Right.
So.
And also, don't forget, too, different quarterbacks, different heights, too. The big difference between Mendoza's. I mean, look at Mendoza and Kirk Cousins standing next to each other. A big difference in height.
Yeah.
Then you take Mendoza and stand him next to Baker Mayfield, or Drew Brees. I mean, you're talking height difference here. So it may look like he's squatting so low, but he's a tall kid. He's not a midget out there.
Yeah. Long legged too.
Yeah.
Not just 6'5", but he's got long legs. He's going to look a lot different in this uniform than he did at Indiana. At Indiana, you see him in those white pants. He's just like, he looks like a twig. Those pants they're not fitting right. I don't know what the deal is, but you see him with the silver pants on and the red jersey in practice. It's like and his calves look bigger than what they did when he was in Indiana. I was like, am I missing something here, or is he improved his body physique that fast?
Shout out to Cool Kev. Shout out to All Eyes if you're watching. Shout out to you, All Eyes, man. Hopefully you get better soon, man. Get you back here. Ani with a question. ESPN has the Raiders as the worst offense and defense in the AFC West. True or false? True. I'll answer that really quick.
Yeah, until we start playing games, it's you kind of, until the rubber meets the road, you're the worst team in the NFL.
So if AOC, I don't see us trading him or waiving him.
I don't. The waiving, I think, is an absolute. If they waive him, that would be a bad move, because he will not clear waiver. Somebody will snatch him up quickly. But trading him, I don't think that would be outside the realm. I mean, if somebody's quarterback goes down, their numero uno goes down, and they've got a decent backup, and they want to maintain that because the rest of the team is just that much better, then it's kind of the reason why we went and got Kenny Pickett last year. Is like, it's like AOC's down, and we need somebody that's played quarterback before in the NFL that taken NFL snaps. So that wouldn't be out of. I mean, somebody came knocking on the door with a 4th round pick for Aiden O'Connell after we set our roster in August or in September. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, in all honesty, I like the guy. Don't get me wrong.
The only thing that would worry me with it is if he's not here, Kirk Cousins goes down. Now we have no choice but to put Mendoza out there, and if he's not 100%. If the coaches are not 100% confident in him winning or, playing to the best of his ability, we're forced. We have no choice because we're only carrying 2 quarterbacks. Nah. Having Aiden O'Connell is still that insurance. I'm looking at Aiden O'Connell still being here next year as the backup for Mendoza.
I would love that.
I think that would be perfect. Yeah.
And I said this before. I really, truly think that he's going to be a better version of Aiden O'Connell than he's ever been in Kubiak's system. I think he really would do well in his system.
I think he's finally got an offensive-minded coach that could work to his favor. The system itself could be very favorable for him. We haven't seen or heard a lot about him in training camp so far. I know a lot of the footage I've seen of guys in red jerseys. I haven't seen a number 12. I've seen a 15. I've seen an 8. And I think the other was 16. It's like none of those are AOC 12. So I don't know. Unless he switched his number and we don't know about it. But I haven't seen him in any of those.
Yeah. I have heard little snippets here and there that some of he's on point with his throws. Not a whole lot of wasted motion. And stuff like it, just things that you can observe without pads on. Those are some of the good things. Like none of the guys have been disappointed that have seen him play, but nothing that really you go, wow, AOC should be the starter. Nothing like that.
Shout out to Will from Silver and Black Radio Podcast.
Up, Will?
Why is Jason whispering sweet nothings into his ear? You're talking soft tonight.
I got a sultry voice with a picture of Will hanging up right over my monitor right here. So.
What's up, Q? What's going on, man? This doesn't work out, Jason. He can get his own 900 love line.
Do the Adam Carolla thing.
Yeah. What's up, Diesel? What's going on, man? Welcome in tonight, man.
Only people calling would be the 49er and Cowboy fans because they're always brokenhearted.
Yeah. We back, man. August 1st is going to officially the dust off the whole room of Raider gear. Yeah, right. Get ready for the new season.
Yeah, I'm actually buying some Raider swag this year. I didn't buy anything last year. Yeah, started out with these. Got me and my wife these matching baseball jerseys.
Show them the sleeve. Show them the sleeve on.
Thanks to so I had this friend. I got this guy. I know this guy in Rhode Island. Really cool dude, man. Yeah, and he made a logo for me last year when I first got introduced into this YouTube stuff. And he made this logo for me. I said, you know what? I'm going to put that on this shirt. So, the only bad thing is I paid for the stitch. It's a freaking screen print put on another piece of material, then stitched on. That's like, suckers, they screwed me over. Sorry. But everything else is cool. I got my
I love this one. I've got two of these. I love these.
I got my 75, and then on the back, JD. Got my JD on the back. Did you see that? And then my wife has got Yoli for her name on the back. And I was going to put Mickey Mouse on the sleeve for her. I said, stop bullshit. I ain't putting no Mickey Mouse on Raider swag.
Yeah, that is a cool looking one. I like that. Yeah. I got my name. The Raiders logo on this one. AFC, NFL logo on this sleeve.
And one of the guys in the chat, it has to be, I want to say it was Arnie, because Arnie has just been filling up the chat box with nothing but great takes. Mm-hmm. But I think it was him that mentioned, if you were to buy a jersey of a current player this year, who would it be? Whoever put that in the chat, come back with it. Let's talk about that. Because I actually am contemplating. I am old school. I like my old school Raiders. But I hate to tell you this, it is hard to find throwback jerseys now. At least for guys our size. You can still get a medium, which would fit 805, but because I know he's listening, he's got to be listening.
Just say something bad about Adam Butler, and he'll chime in if he's listening.
Oh yeah, the fact that he's going to be the backup to Thomas Booker and Tonka Hemingway. Yeah.
Oh, he might even be traded.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. We can trade Adam Butler.
Yep. Yeah. I thought about that, getting a jersey with your own name on the back, but that's what I got. I got this one, but I still think I'm leaning towards Bowers. A guy that's 6'4", 320 pounds, wearing a number 2 jersey just doesn't look. You would probably think I was a white version of Jamarcus Russell coming at you with that jersey on. Okay, so I can't do that. So love Genty, but I'm not wearing number 2. 89, that would be cool. I think I'd go with 89. But you got to admit that
potty foul.
Who's that? Rochat?
That's a lot of fabric.
You know what? Yeah. So, I mean, even from my end, you know.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to get involved with the discussion, Mr. Helper.
Nice, Rochat.
Which current player on roster jersey would you buy?
So that was Arnie. I think I'm leaning Bowers, bro. Leaning Bowers or Linderbaum. I think I'd look good in a Linderbaum jersey.
For me, at this point, the only one I would get would be Colton Miller.
Yeah, because he's gonna be riding out into the sunset here pretty soon. And at that point,
he's been tenured enough where I could feel confident getting his jersey.
Yeah. And I say the same thing about Max. He's been here long enough that you can.
Yeah, and I mean the close second would be a Max jersey. Other than that, there ain't no one else on this roster that I would get a jersey of.
Yeah.
On the current roster.
Yeah.
I'm like Jason. I'm an old school guy. I got burned once. I'm not falling for that again.
I got burned
That gallery
3
jersey is still
times.
sitting in my closet, buried in the back.
McFadden, Moss. Who else? There's somebody else I bought a jersey. I know McFadden and Moss were 2 of them, right off the top of my head. That I
DHK
bought
is
those
a cool
jerseys.
website. That's where you get them for cheap and they're good quality. Huh?
Yeah. I don't know exactly.
Mendoza top sellers. You knew Mendoza was going to be a top seller. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a no-brainer.
Well, I put 15 on my wife's jersey. It's not 75.
What do you mean you used to have it? What'd you do with the auto jersey? Would you sell it or would you lose it?
Yeah, that would be a loss thing. I wouldn't sell it or give it away.
Oh, white
Yeah,
version of
lose it.
Jamarcus Russell.
That's exactly what it would look like if I wore number 2 jersey. You'd be like, oh my God, here comes Jamarcus Russell.
We had one. We had a Russell jersey here. My wife, Dawn, wore it. And then she goes, what am I going to do? I said, easy, give me it. And I just peeled off ripped off the nameplate on the back and just left it blank now. So she just wears the number 2. But at least now Genti's here. So, I mean,
Nah.
so if somebody sees a number 2, at least it correlates with an active player that's a decent player.
Yeah.
You know?
Just rip the nameplate off the back.
That was before I realized JPJ may not be what everybody thinks he is. Because I really don't. I'm having some serious doubts about him right now.
Yeah.
I really am, and I'm not alone. So it's not like I'm out here on a limb by myself. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of analysts that are saying the same shit too. That he's definitely fallen off since his rookie year, and even his second year. Come on, guys, give us a dark horse to buy jersey. McCoy, Stoops, Masses. I can't do it, man. I can't.
Just can't.
I'm not. I'm definitely not grabbing it. I would not grab a rookie jersey, Mendoza or not. Even though he's obviously the odds-on favorite to be here for a long term. But number one, I've got a strict rule when it comes to jerseys for me. Okay, and my number one rule is I will not buy or wear a jersey of a quarterback, running back, or wide receiver, or even a guy in the secondary. Why? Because I'm a big dude, and I would not look right wearing a Tim Brown jersey or a Ashton Genty or Charles Woodson. It just doesn't look right. I look like I belong in anything over, in the 70s, the 60 numbers, the 90s, shit like that. I know wide receivers are in the 80s. But again, tight end number, yeah, I could wear a tight end because tight ends are basically almost an extension of the offensive line anyway for the most part. But,
Yeah, I had a Tim Brown jersey that I liked. It looked good on me, but at the time I only weighed like 245, 250 pounds when I had it too. So there's a big difference. Times have changed. Jeff, we're 53 minutes in, man.
yeah, we're going to open the phone lines.
AT&T's calling saying you got to heat it up.
Yep. Phone lines are open, so
Ding,
call
ding,
in
ding.
401-830-9189. I mean, we have other stuff we were going to discuss tonight, but we want to hear from you guys. It's been a while
That's
since
it.
we've done a phone call.
Yeah.
We wanna
I'm
hear
just sitting
from
here
you.
picking off the chat, man. Forget all this.
Yeah.
What do you guys? We want to see what you guys got to say. That's the biggest thing. What do you guys got to say? And then we'll ham it up here so everybody else can listen.
Here we
Hey,
go.
hold on a second. This is Kenneth. $5,
Are we
Kenneth. Huh?
Your Raider Nation Voices with Jason and Jeff. State your name.
Just my good man, how the heavens are ya?
What's up, brother? What's going on, Kenneth?
To answer the question you were asking regarding Al Davis, it was 92.
Oh, it was 92. Okay.
92.
It was on this day 92. 'Cause I just I googled it just a little bit ago before I called in.
Yeah.
Yes. Jeff, this is Arnie.
Hold on. I gotta say. Sorry, Kenneth, I put you on hold by accident. There was another call coming in, but you're back on.
Yeah, like I said, I ended up Googling it before I called in. So
Yeah,
it was
I didn't
August
even
1st,
look
92.
So I'm glad you did. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Also, I don't know if y'all heard, Pearsall's going to be out for the year.
Yep.
Oh, that must have come down today then.
Yep.
Yeah, it just came down a little bit earlier. I think it was a lingering knee injury that he sustained, I believe, from last year.
Yeah. He's gonna have another
Man, that
surgery.
poor kid can't catch a break. He gets shot before training camp a couple of years ago, his rookie year, right? He's the one that got shot in the abdomen.
Yep.
You know, then he finally comes back. He has somewhat of an impact. Then he gets hurt. Poor bastard. He can't catch a break. Now he misses another year.
That's one of those deals where you just tell him, hey, get
like I said,
stop.
I just happened to see it
I'm not
just a little bit ago.
Well, thanks for that info, because
And-
I didn't know that he's going to be out for the year now. Damn.
Check ESPN under the NFL page.
Yeah.
It'll be there. It's one of the main stories that they covered.
Hold Kenneth real
Also,
quick.
in regards to that question regarding a jersey, I happen to have a J.J. Watt jersey. Not J.J. Watt, I mean Arian Foster. I have an Arian Foster jersey.
Nice.
That's a nice one to have.
Nice.
Sure.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, it's a
Kenneth
battle
hold real quick.
red. I often wear it whenever I have the opportunity to.
Yeah, I would too if I were you. Why not? I mean, he's one of the better running backs you had down there, so hell yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, man, when I saw that question, I was like, I definitely am gonna call in on that.
Yeah. Also, Jeff, we were talking earlier about the 49ers shit show.
I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go for now, because I'm fixing to get some sleep. I gotta get up early. Got a few things to do before I go to a wedding.
That's right. Yeah, you got your wedding tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta be at the church by 10 for service, and then the wedding's supposed to be after that.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, Kenneth. You're one of my regulars. I appreciate that, brother.
Thanks, Kenneth, man.
All right,
Love
man.
you,
I'll
brother.
talk to you later.
All right, man. Take care.
Hey, just real quick before the next phone call, to add to your shit show, also in the 49ers, because we like to, if we could shovel some dirt on that hole a little bit more, their executive vice president / cap guru guy, he resigned today, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just... I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. I think before this season is over, Lynch and Shanahan are going to be gone.
Possibly. Arnie, you're on the line with us now. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Jeff?
What's up?
Arnie.
Nothing. Just kind of. I don't know. It gets a little frustrating being a Raider fan because like every year it's all the high hopes, and then and the shortcomings we have every year. It's going to be a rebuild, as they say, and they just reboot every year.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this year is a little different with Cousins, or does it feel the same as Geno Smith as last year? Just getting a guy that can run your offense and hoping that his twilight years come back to him again.
I feel it's different this year. I got a quarterback coming in here that I wasn't confident with Geno the day we got him. I never was in Geno's corner, no matter what team he was with. Even though he had success when he was in Seattle, I just didn't see him being a fit here. Cousins feels different. He's played in this system before. He's got experience with it. He's won games. He's had tremendous games with incredible stats. This is a guy that can stay. If he stays healthy, he can do some damage out there as a quarterback in this league. And just the thought of him being paired up now with Brock Bowers out there, looks like we're going to have a real good running game. If the offensive line, if they can solidify the starting five and get everything to gel right, I've got all the confidence in the world that this offense is going to put points on the board.
Yep.
You know, unlike last year where we struggled to get points on the board on a consistent basis. You know,
Yeah.
one game we get shut out, and the next game we go to Houston and almost beat them. You know, I mean, come on. It's like there's no consistency last year. Hoping to see that this year.
No. Jeff, if you can just
Totally agree
have
with
Arnie
that,
pause real
Jeff.
quick.
And then also with the competition on the team, I do see that like penciled in starters in a lot of positions that I don't think are really any competition. It's just going to be guys getting the spots because they know the system, they know the coordinators, they know everything to it. And
Yeah, I mean,
I think we need real competition in there and let everybody try to go for the spot.
Well, I think
That
the real
person wins.
competition will start once the pads come on and they start actually being a little bit more physical with each other, and then you can really see, where, especially some of these rookies in the secondary, where you can see what they can fully do out there. You know, that's where I think the competition is really going to kick in. Jason wanted to say something, so I'm going to have to relay. Go ahead, Jason.
Okay, for Arnie, this is it, to kind of fluctuate his point just real quick. Arnie, the difference between last year and this year, and your point being is bringing in guys that just know the system, whatever, and they're anointed, whatnot. The difference between that regime and this regime is they actually brought in players, not so much their guys, but they brought in veterans that have youth, right? Yeah, they brought in Kirk Cousins, I get it, but focus away from that real quick. Linderbaum, 25 years old, 4 years in the NFL, two-time Pro Bowler. Kwity Paye, who was productive in Indianapolis, wasn't the first round pick that they thought he was going to be, but he still had some production. And then you have Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean. Both of those guys have been absolute in the NFL. How they came to the Raiders, I don't know. I'm glad they're here. But that's the surprise of our offseason, is the fact that we were to get those three picks or those three free agents to come to us at the time of their career, at the price that we might have overpaid for Linderbaum, we might have overpaid for Quay Walker a little bit, but you go watch those Green Bay games, that dude is everywhere. So, and so we have a veteran youth movement.
All right, let me
other youth.
Let me try and I'm not going to be able to reiterate all that.
Just focus on the youth of the free agents, and I'll be right
So
back. I'm
basically,
going to go
what he's saying is because of the difference between the regime last year and this year is it's veteran players coming in this year, unlike last year where we brought veterans in, but they were older veterans. This is more of a youth movement with the veterans that they brought in. And he's true, and he's right too. Is if you think about Linderbaum's been in the league, 4 going on 5 years. Walker and Dean only like 4 or 5 years in the league, so they're younger veterans, but they're extremely skilled in their positions. So that's the benefit of this year's regime and the staff that's here and the players they're bringing in versus last year. Pete Carroll brought in guys that were older. He went for that true veteran, experience over time type situation. Granted, the oldest one we brought in obviously is Kirk Cousins, but you're looking at him as he's the short-term solution to get this team moving in the right direction. Because obviously your future is Mendoza. So yeah, I get what Jason's saying there. It totally makes sense, 100%. And welcome in, Edgar Souza. I see you in the chat, brother.
Yeah, I was going to tell you too, Jeff, that how do you feel about the ranking of last year's class? How do you think they're doing development-wise? How do you grade Spytek's last draft? I know it's just 1 year, but what do you?
Yeah, no. I get
development
the question. It is tough after 1 year, but my biggest thing on all this is how many of those players drafted last year were Spytek's versus Pete Carroll's.
Yes.
And
we don't know. We don't know
exactly. But we know Pete Carroll had a heavy hand in this. I would like to think that if Spytek had ultimate control over that draft in 2025, we wouldn't have Betch on this roster. I wouldn't have Thornton on this roster. We wouldn't have made the trade backs that we did and still taken some of the players that we did. I have all the confidence in the world in the 2 offensive linemen we took last year. I'm hoping they contribute a hell of a lot more this year, especially with a bona fide offensive line coach. Genty is what Genty is. You know, he's the top dog for us in the running game. Still think he was picked a little too early, is my opinion, but can't cry over spilt milk.
No, he's got all the talent in the world.
He does.
If he puts it together, we get a good line. He could be a superstar.
Yeah. Right? I mean, the wide receivers, I'm giving a incomplete F, whatever, one of the worst grades you can give. The wide receivers we grabbed last year were absolutely dog shit.
Totally agree. Totally agree with that.
Offensive linemen, I'm giving them like a C because it's not their fault necessarily, because I leave it this way. Caleb Rogers should have started way earlier in the season last year. I had predicted he'd be starting by the bye week. And he didn't start until like 5 games after that. You know, so, and then when I saw him play, it's like, why wasn't this guy starting sooner? You know, he's got the tangibles out there. You know, he's got the footwork, he's got the size. You know, Grant is still, you know, they dicked around with all the offensive linemen last year with everything that they did. The running back is what it was. You know, to be honest with you, I think overall, as of right now, it's a failing grade overall for the 2025 draft. I mean, the only one that was worth anything coming out of that draft has been Genty. You know, Porter.
I think Lindenberg, I think, is going to be a good depth piece. I think him being the linebacker, getting him in the 7th round for the depth piece we got. He's going up the draft board. I mean, he's going up the depth charts.
Yeah, but again, I'm still looking for, you know, you. I guess in order to give it a better grade, you'd want to see some of those guys that would, you know, be more of an impact on this, have more of an impact. The 2 wide receivers, they were a joke last year, you know.
Yeah.
Are they going to improve this year? Who knows, man? I hope so. One of those 2 has got to step up, because the other out of the 2 that doesn't step up and doesn't prove anything in training camp or whatever could be gone.
But Jeff, I did have a question for you on that. I kind of just got this right now from thinking about it. Out of the draft class, who do you think played the most snaps out of that whole draft class?
From last year?
Yeah, from last year.
Oh, it had to be Genty.
Yeah. So it was Genty and Darren Porter, right?
Yeah.
Do you think those are Pete's draft picks?
I think Genty was his pick all the way, and
probably I think Porter was too. I think Porter was too. That's why they started.
Yeah, and Porter was a converted wide receiver too. Another guy that was used to be a wide receiver, just like Richard Sherman was a wide receiver at one point. He had, and that's what I think he was trying to. If he was going to be here long term, is what he was looking to do. Is take a guy that was a wide receiver, was converted to corner, and you know, trying to make him successful, just like he had with Richard Sherman. You know, it was just a bad draft class last year.
Yeah. And we still haven't even talked about Miller and Malott. I mean, we didn't even talk about Miller and Malott, and that's how bad it is.
Yeah, and how long neither one of them lasted on the team. One was cut in the middle of training camp, and the other one was put on practice squad, and then somebody scooped them.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, this draft class in 2026, I think has the potential to go down as probably one of our better draft classes we've seen in a long freaking time. You know, because you're looking at a lot of potential starters coming off of this roster, this draft class. Yeah, I thought that last year too, but
yeah, totally agree with that, Jeff. I'll let you guys get back to talking to other people, and I'll see you on the chat. Okay.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for calling in.
And tell Jay I said what's up too, man. You guys are doing a great job out there.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Arnie.
Ani Gaza. Yep.
Ani Gaza. He's the dude. That guy can bring some fire in the chat. Let me tell you. He's good. He's good.
Right, in the chat.
Quirk is in here too. Tyler A is in here. So Quirk brings some good stuff. Silver and Facts, he's sometimes. It could be. Sometimes it could be.
Oh, there's Tyler. What's up, Tyler? Hey, man. What's up, man? Pete Cal thought it was a good idea that bench Caleb Rogers, Charles Grant, and start Stone Forsythe and Will Putnam. Exactly. Okay. So, the fact that you know what? Do we have to keep talking about last year?
I did that on my show yesterday. That
like,
it just all of a sudden, and like 30 minutes into last year, and I'm like, at some point we got to forget last year. I know the PTSD is real, but we got to forget last year. I mean, and even and in all fairness to Raider Nation, those of you in the chat, when you see this roster this year, please understand. Don't compare them to last year. Let them do this year, be this year, be this year. Because there's some guys that, I mean, they even got Glaze. How many people in the chat over the past year or so has been saying GJ Glaze should kick into guard? Well, they've been putting him in at guard. They've been running with the ones that left guard. So
Tyler says, which wide receivers do you see stepping up and playing a role in this offense? Any one of them. We've got like 14 of them on the roster right now. 2 are on like an injured reserve status.
I think his name is somebody.
Yeah.
We just need somebody to step up.
Outside of Trey Tucker right now, there's no established wide receiver on this roster.
No.
In all honesty, because Jalen Naylor still isn't an established wide receiver when he was in Minnesota. He was a spot wide receiver. He was more for special teams.
He's purely a complimentary.
Tucker's the only one that has any type of bona fide starting experience as a wide receiver. So you automatically slate him possibly as the number one. He's the most experienced receiver on this roster, plain and simple. You know, I mean, there's talk that Malik Benson is taking strides to get in there. Why did you see my Raiders uncles and you give me the Oh, I didn't even see that. I didn't say that. That was Jason that said that. So don't lump me in with his boneheaded statement.
What? What did I say? I didn't say anything. What are you talking about?
Yes, you did. You said Silver and Facts coming with the
I'm just kidding, man. You know better. No, forget. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, and not a bot. That's probably what it's going to come down to. We still don't know what the hell we're going to get out of Betch this year. I have absolutely zero confidence in Thornton. I really do. I don't. If anybody else has, if anyone in the chat or you, Jason, has confidence in Thornton, please speak on it, because I got to hear what your reason is for putting him in a position where you've got confidence in him being out there as, you know, one of the 3 wide receivers on this roster.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't see it.
Cut.
I would not be surprised if he is not on the 53.
No.
I really would be.
Now they're really happy with Malik Benson.
That's what I mean. I mean, this kid's the rookie, and he's having an impact. I mean, he came from a decent team too in Oregon. You know, had a quarterback up there. I don't know what Tennessee had for a quarterback. But we don't have good success with Tennessee wide receivers, period. You know?
I don't know. Denarius Moore was pretty good.
For how long, though? It was short term.
Yeah, but
I want to see a wide receiver that we draft have a career like Tim Brown, whether it's on our team or he moves on to another team. That's just it. You look at some of these wide receivers that we've drafted. Where are they now? Not in any other teams.
Nah.
The only other wide receiver we ever drafted that went on to have somewhat decent success after they left us was who? Who, Jason?
Oh, good gosh.
We re-signed him last year, and then he retired before the Patriots game.
Oh, Amari Cooper?
Yeah. He's the last wide receiver that I can think of that we drafted, had good success with us, left us, went to other teams and had some good seasons with the other teams. We don't And nobody can sit there and say Jacoby. We didn't draft Jacoby Myers. We didn't draft Devontae Adams either. So those guys don't count.
Nah,
I'm talking about a
guys that
drafting
we've
of the wide
drafted, yeah.
receiver that has stuck with us and had a decent career. Tucker's been to be honest with you. But again, he's always been behind Devontae Adams or Jacoby Myers. You know, he had these other guys ahead of him, Brock Bowers, you know, ahead of him with, you know, that they're getting the ball to. It's just the quality of wide receivers in this roster is not good.
Yeah.
You know,
but there's some good receivers coming out next year in the draft. As much as everybody's bragging about
that's
the
next year.
loaded quarterback.
Yeah.
But see, the thing of it is, too, is are we really wanting to push a bunch of chips out onto the table to try and get a wide receiver from another team or something?
Well, that's just it. And that's what I was just going to say. I don't think we need to go out and get a wide receiver that's on the free agent market or trade for one. I'm not for that. I don't like any of the guys that are out there available right now. I don't think they bring much to the table. They're all aging, injury-prone, veteran wide receivers. They ain't going to do us much good.
Nah.
You know, I don't want to see that. I'm all for giving the young kids a chance. Let's see what they got. But we all know damn well our number one passing option is Brock Bowers, plain and simple.
Yeah, he's the weapon.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, worked great for Kansas City for the past 8 years, right? I mean, who's the number one wide receiver besides Tyreek Hill? That those few years, who has been their number one? And even with Tyreek Hill, he was still the number one weapon. They just say, "Hey, you fly, you take the flies with you, and then we're gonna throw it to this guy that's open all the time."
Yeah, Kelsey.
So, yeah, I kind of sniffing around a little bit and paying attention to some of the insiders and some of the press conferences and stuff like that. I kind of in a roundabout way think that the coaching staff already knows what we're saying, and not coming out and saying it, but because that's detrimental to the team in and of itself. But I think based on the way they're doing things and the way they're setting things up, don't be surprised to see Genty get a lot of targets. Don't be surprised if Michael Mayer gets a lot of targets to take a little pressure off of Bowers as well. So with a bunch of 12 and 13 personnel. And, oh, by the way, that Cameron Hayward, he can catch the ball too. Now, I'm not saying he's going to go out and get 1,000 yards or anything like that.
I'm glad you brought
if you start to divide the pie up a little bit, even though you have 100% pie, 60% is going to be to Bowers. The other 40%, you divide it up equally amongst the other guys, you're still going to get 100% production.
I'm glad you brought him up. And, Coach, you're right. That was probably the smartest thing. You know what? I guarantee that's what it was. Cooper walked into the building last year, saw how dysfunctional everything was, and said, "Yep, I'm out of here. I'm retiring."
Yeah.
It's like
that, and I don't think his heart was in it anymore. I think he was done.
Well, I think that had a lot to do with it too. But I think a lot of it was also seeing the situation and what was going on inside the building. I mean, we saw it from the outside, just watching the preseason games. Why he even suggested or why he even thought about coming back to us was beyond me. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but he saw that and was like, "Deuces, I'm out." But I'm glad you brought up Haywood, because until you mention his name now, I haven't heard many people talk about him. How, and I think a lot of fans forget how important he's going to be in this system with Kubiak. He's going to play a big role in this. He's kind of like the unsung hero that's going to be coming out of this. And he's going to become Genty's best friend, because of what he's going to bring to the table to help Genty in getting free and actually doing some damage on in a game and breaking some tackles and being led through the hole basically, or making the hole for him. So this is something we haven't had in a few years, which was a bona fide fullback. He is a converted tight end, and he did come from Pittsburgh, where he was used as a tight end, and he was pretty damn good at it too. Not a Michael Mayer or Brock Bowers type, but a reliable guy that does have hands. And he's a big dude. He's not a small fullback. He's big. So
Don't be
he's
surprised to see a
got
couple
more-
plays here and there with Michael Mayer in the backfield lined up as a split back or a
Yeah.
lead blocker out of the backfield. So it
We got
happens.
the old wishbone offense.
That's what we ran in high school. Nah,
Yeah.
no, we're
My
good.
my favorite what we had in high school was the Delaware wing tee.
Oh yeah. You know, there's some high schools around here where we live that still run that.
I believe it,
They still
and I
run
bet
it.
you
They got
they're
like,
extremely successful in it.
oh
too.
yeah. It's usually the
Especially
little
against some of these newer schools, or not newer schools, but these newer head coaches that are trying to do all these fangle dangle shit.
Yeah.
And then you come out with a smash mouth, power eye or Delaware wing tee
Yeah.
or wishbone. They won't have a clue what to do with that.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "The hell's this?" And then next thing you know, they're just getting run right over. They get trucked.
And that, yeah, we ran the wishbone when I was in high school. The school I went to, my coach coached the wishbone. It was popular back in the 80s and early 90s. Well, I'd probably say right towards the end of my high school career is when it started to fade out. You didn't see too much, but like my freshman and sophomore year, we played a lot of teams that ran the wishbone, not just us, but they did too.
What's up, Tanner Jack? Did you just get here, or are you leaving? I didn't catch what you said.
I don't know, but this guy showed up.
Oh,
I challenge him to make a phone call.
who
Come on,
knows
Coach.
what-
You know the numbers right down there, man. 401-830-9189. Call in and give Jeff a bunch of crap, man. You can do it. I got faith in you, my friend.
Me crap. What are you giving me crap for?
Because you're the one
That's only
answering the
because
phone
you
and
can't
talking
answer
to
them
him.
back. They can talk shit to Jason because he can't.
No.
Talk. That's the best part.
Why would you talk shit to me? Because
Because it's
at
funny.
least when you talk shit to
You
you,
can't fight
it
back.
means something. It don't mean nothing to talk shit to me.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't either.
They can cuss you out and you can't do anything. You can just sit there and go, "What the fuck?" And they can't hear you. What's up, 21 M Gomez? What's up, man? Excited to see the new look defense and Mendoza in preseason. I'm excited to see what this kid does in preseason. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see what he does. I want to see how much he's grasped.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. I'm behind the kid 100%. He's on the team now, so I can't keep talking shit about him.
Yeah.
Because if we want to win for the future, he's the guy, obviously.
Yeah.
And if he can't get it done, then he's not the guy, and then we're
Yeah.
back to square one again. So I want him to be successful. I don't want to go through another 10, 15 years of misery and mediocre football and shitty players and shitty coaches. I'm done with that shit. It's time, man. I've paid my dues. Jason, you've paid your dues.
Yep.
You've been here, through all these years. I've been here through all these years. A lot of guys in the chat are older school guys. They've been through it all. I'm tired of it. I really am. I'm at my wit's end with this.
yeah.
like-
There's other than 4 years in the early 2000s, late 90s, 2000s. Man, the last 35 years have been just ever since Bo Jackson got hurt. I think that's when it kind of started. And then it just it seemed like every year a little piece of the team just left.
Yep.
What we had in the 70s and 80s, you just start to see a little bit of it diminish. Like our offensive line starts to, or we got Bruce Wilkerson and, when Don Mosberg got his eye gouged out in a scrimmage with the Cowboys and his career got ended.
Yeah.
Over something like that. It's just like you just start to see it. Don't just chunks after chunks, and then by the time we let Art Shell go, and then Mike White kind of gave us a little bit of hope when we came back to Oakland. Started off really hot. I don't know how you go 8-2 and finish 8-8, but he showed us how it was done.
Just a shout out again to the 40. We got 41 in the channel. Actually, 43 in the channel right now.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you all being here.
Salute, man.
Yeah, thank you very much for all tuning in with us tonight. We're not going anywhere. We're still here right now. We're not taking off yet. But the phone lines are open, 401-830-9189. And don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you get to both channels. I'm 401 Raider Jeff. And
I'm
the
Raiders First Downs.
gentleman, Raiders First Downs, is other known as JD. So make sure you guys get over to his channel, hit that sub, hit the notification, get the thumbs up, share this with your friends. My memberships are open and ready, so if you want to become a member, they start off at 99 cents to become a member of my channel. You have no idea how helpful that
And I'm hoping to be monetized by the end of this season.
That's the goal for you.
Yep.
You're on Rating Nation Voices with Jeff and Jason. State your name.
Hey, how's it going? Hello to y'all.
Who is
And
this?
I just wanted to tell you one question.
Oh, it's Rafa.
Well, I know that you
Rafa.
see, like, well, if you heard the voice and everything, but I just have one question. So, what would happen about, like, the situation coming up there for the running backs, the wide receivers, and the tight ends? Because we all know that we have Brock Bowers, but we don't have, like, a true wide receiver one. So, what would happen on that training camp about, like, the battle between Trey Tucker and, of course, all the wide receivers? Because we need, like, a true, like, a wide receiver who can create all the rules and make an impact along with the quarterbacks and everything.
I mean, my take on that, Raf. First of all, thanks for calling
Yeah.
in. Appreciate that, Rafa.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, if you look at it, Trey Tucker's the number one wide receiver. So
Uh-huh.
it's just a matter of finding out who's going to be our 2 and our 3 out there. I don't have much confidence in this wide receiver room. I mean, and we just said this a few minutes ago. Brock Bowers is the number one receiving threat on this roster, as a tight end. Just like Travis Kelce is for the Chefs. He's their number one receiving option right now too. I mean, we're in that same boat. They're running a mishmash of wide receivers, and we're kind of doing the same thing right now. We're running with a bunch of no names. You got Tucker is the most experienced, and then Jalen Nail is the next most experienced on this roster right now. The rest are either rookies or second-year guys that haven't really shown much. And it sucks. And that is one of my biggest takeaways from this. I'm not worried about anything on the defense. The defense, we're good. It's that wide receiver room, that is just scary. Like, who's going to come out ahead here?
Yeah. I mean, exactly. and of course, I just wanted to tell you, great show, guys.
Thanks,
Salute to y'all. And of course,
before he hangs up,
got one more thing to do. Well, Raider Nation for life, and we cannot wait for the season, because you know what time it is. Just like how David said, just win, baby. Raider Nation for life. There's only one nation.
Hang on
The only
real quick,
motherfucking nation. Salute to y'all.
All right, buddy. What, Jason?
Hang on real quick.
He's not. He
Let
never
him go.
usually-
We need a producer. We're running thin on it as a 2-man show. We need a producer, somebody in the background that can control this shit.
Who wants to be our Chugs? Ugh.
Who wants to be our Chugs? Yeah. I give that one Chucky head. No, for you guys that are in the chat, what country is Raf from and where he lives?
Is it Nicaragua?
I thought it was
He
Argentina.
lives in South Carolina. I know that.
I thought he was from Argentina.
Oh, maybe Argentina. I know it's South America. I don't remember. It's one of those two.
Yeah, I thought it was Argentina. But if Raf, if you're out there, just let us know. Colombia, maybe? I don't know. But hey,
All I know is
Furpo's-
it. Go ahead.
we had a James Furpo sighting in the chat just now too.
Did we? There's right here. Who are you guys? What did y'all say y'all's name was? I'm Billy Bob, and that's
I'm Jumping Jack Flash.
yeah. If you're not subscribed to Rapper's channel, go over and check him out. He did some great interviews during the World Cup
Oh
at
yeah.
some of the local bars near him. It's some of the best videos I've seen him do, and they were awesome. He was in the, talking to people, asking them questions, about the World Cup and their favorite team. It was awesome. He did such a great job with it. I was watching that. I was like, man, he did a great job with those. That's the type of videos he needs to do more of, stuff like that, because he's good at that. He's really good at that. I thought they were awesome. I gave him a big kudos on those. Those were great.
Yeah. He puts out other content too, doesn't he? Like UFC and
he does
WWE.
shows, and he does a lot of play-by-play in Spanish and everything, which is weird. I would have thought he really would take off with this, because he's got something that some of us really don't have, and that's the ability to translate or to talk in Spanish. Like, you would think he would have a huge Hispanic following for him when he does his live MMA stuff. He does the play-by-play in Spanish. He does that for NFL games. He did it during the World Cup. So he's good, man. He's good. Did Baker get signed? He did, but then I saw something where somebody said, "Oh, did he renege it?" I'm gonna look that up to see if he did.
Yeah, I didn't see that I saw he was very adamant and open about being disrespected. They offered him like $27 million a year or something like that, and it's like
it was $100 million. It was $100 million contract for 2 years.
Man, that's 50 per. I mean, depending on what the, but you know how these guys are. They want those long-term. 2 years isn't enough. So, but that's going to be Tampa Bay's problem. I don't think they're in a very good financial position right now, Tampa Bay. I really don't. I mean,
so there's one topic I wanted to bring up tonight, because it is the hot topic. Raider Outlaw. What's up, Raider Outlaw? He said Venezuela.
Is it Venezuela?
James Furpo in the house.
Yeah, James Furpo. You think I should push the button?
Go for it.
Yeah. We got the Furpo button now. It's dialed in.
So did he not sign it, though? I'm trying to find something, and there he goes. He responded to you.
Yeah.
I wanted Baker Mayfield a long time ago. I would have been fine with him.
I wanted him before he left the Rams. After he beat us in a Thursday night game, it's like, hey, could we get?
I would have taken him after his time in Cleveland, to be honest with you. So I want to bring this up. So it's a lengthy title or a banner, but I'm going to read the whole thing, and then I want your take on it, Jason, because I know you and I have not really talked about it, and I want the chat's take on all this. And I'm going to put the chat's comments up on this while I let you talk on it. All right, so it's a couple of different questions involved here. So Vita Vea to the Raiders, question mark. Would you make the Vita Vea trade? What would you give up for Vita Vea? And do you think it's a real possibility, or is it just a rumor? I know we haven't talked about this. So
well, I started to several months ago on your No Huddle show, and then I withheld going any farther on it because I had mentioned it. And then you looked at it, and you looked at the screen, and you go, "Are you talking about to the Raiders?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Huh. Let me tell you. Let me break it down conceptually for you. Yes, he's 31, a little bit longer in the tooth, but you know, and I know that defensive tackles have a long shelf life in the league. I mean, we've got defensive tackle. You got Campbell's 8 years old, 39 years old. You got guys playing in 35, 36 years old.
We had Jenkins. He was almost 40 before he retired.
Yeah. So the defensive tackles are kind of like that. Those interior, those centers and guards, they can have a long shelf life, and he has not dropped off in performance. Now there's going to be some of you guys that are going to go start looking at ESPN stats with him. Go ahead. That has nothing to do with the way that guy plays. He has a lot of hidden statistics when he plays, to where I'm going to put it plain and simple. He's what we should have got instead of Christian Wilkins. Okay? He's what we should have done instead of Christian Wilkins. And everybody, I was one of them that was happy we got Christian Wilkins, but this guy he's still a top 5 defensive tackle, per se. Interior defensive tackle, 3 technique, 0 technique, wherever you want to put him. This is the thing. Yes, I would make the trade. And no, it does not slow us down in the progress of rebuilding this franchise, because let me set the example for you. There's 2 guys that I talked about earlier that their development is huge, right? Tonka Hemingway, J.J. Pegues. You bring a guy like him in, now they can form fit, because Max can't really show them what an interior defensive lineman looks like. He can. If they can just follow him and feed off of him, how he plays, how he practices, he's a pro's pro. Vita Vea is a pro's pro when he practices and he plays. His injury history is very limited. Okay, couple games here, a game there. That's to be expected. But he's usually one of his greatest abilities is his availability. So that's a plus. 1, 2, very good at keeping those linebackers clean. 3, Devontae David loves him. Thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What would it take for us to get him? And I've heard anywhere from a 4th round. I wouldn't give him more than a 4th round. I wouldn't give him more than a 5th round. Okay. We're not general managers, and I never will profess to be one. All I do is I throw my opinion out there, and hopefully it makes sense. I would give him a 2027 3rd-round pick. And then I would also, to sweeten the pot so we could lock it in, give him a 2028 conditional 4th-round pick. And they say, you're fucking nuts, JD. Well, you want to lock in the deal, you want to make the deal happen. That right there in of itself would be enough to sweeten the pot for them, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's the issue that we have right now. With I don't think Tampa Bay wants to let him go, but I think they're going to be at a crossroads here real shortly, where they know they're going to probably have to let him go, or he's just going to hit the free agent market anyways, and they're not going to get anything out of it. Maybe a compensatory pick. I'd rather have a 3rd and a conditional 4th round. Well, why do you say 3rd and 4th round? Because those are pretty high picks, right? Well, we've proven over the last few years that it's real easy to recoup a 3rd-round pick. I mean, we only have to move back 3 spots or 2 spots in the 2nd round to get a 3rd-round pick. So we can recoup that pick quick. Same with the conditional 4th-round pick. If it turns into a 3rd-round pick because now all of a sudden he signs an extended contract, then all of a sudden he makes the Pro Bowl with the Raiders, which I think we won, right? If he becomes Pro Bowler, it's like, okay, we got to give him a 3rd-round pick now because Vita Vea made the Pro Bowl. Well, damn. That's kind of what we want to do, right? So you have to sweeten a pot. Yes, Verpo, 4th at most, 3rd and 5th, and a player. Here's the deal. What player are you going to give him? Because I could tell you this, if you're going to bring Vita Vea in, I want to keep Adam Butler. Because I talked about it with another content creator about this. If you want to take this, trade Mayer and Booker for Vita Vea and make Tampa. Actually, I would give him Booker, not Mayer. That's too much. I'm to be quite honest, I'm just saying, the 3rd-round pick. If we give him a 2028 or 2027 3rd-round pick, we can recoup that pick easy. It's not that difficult. We've done it 3 times in the last 3 years where we traded a 3rd-round pick away and ended up getting it back during the draft by trading back. And if for some reason we don't, then we still got 1st, 2nd, 4th-round pick, maybe double up. Maybe we'll double up in the 4th round and try and get as much prospects in the top 100 as we can. We also have other people on this roster that are tradable. But I'm not going there because I'm not lighting the fire on the show tonight. We got to wait a little bit. I'm done. What say you, Skipper?
I'm all for it. I'm totally all for it. Automatically makes that front defensive line even more lethal. Um, yeah, just immediately. I mean, you're talking about going from a good a good defensive front to, oh my God. Because now think about it. You got him in the middle, okay? You got Max and Kwity Paye on the outsides. You got Walker and Dean doing what they're going to do. I mean, the amount of blocks that he's going to eat up and holes or gaps he's going to fill, those are the intangibles. Like you said earlier, those are what you don't see on the stat line, is that type of stuff, how valuable something like that is. Uh, I'm sorry, I like Butler and all, but you can't even compare the two. I mean, he's a totally
But
different.
playing those two together at the same time,
Exactly.
even in front,
Yep.
you could probably see a whole different Butler. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
now not only is he going to get a lighter blocking combo, he's not going to get the combo blocks as much, but he's also going to be a little bit more motivated to try and be as good as Vita Vea, right? So he's going to try a little bit harder.
You're on Raider Nation Voices with Jeff and Jason. State your name. I almost said Stacy.
I'm sorry, guys. I barely can hear you a little bit. I don't know what's going on at the moment, but I can wait for a second.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you good now, Jason.
Yeah, you won't be able to hear me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is Query V.
Yeah, what's up, Q? What's going on, man?
What's up, Q?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the weekend.
Yeah.
I want to say, first and foremost, I know a lot of Raider Nation is listening. Content creators in particular. And I respect all you guys, man. I love the passion from all you guys. It's almost football time.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
I know we talking about Vita Vea recently. And I love the addition for Vita Vea. But it leads me to a different conversation of all the people that's been tied to us as Raider Nation. Acquisitions from Stephon Diggs to not even just Stephon Diggs, but veteran wide receivers and other places that we could improve.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's the difference.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, because it seems like every time someone's a free agent or disgruntled on their current team, someone's like, oh, they'd be a perfect fit for the Raiders. Oh, they're going to go to the Raiders. That's going to be one of their teams. I think with Vita Vea, he's what, 30? Going to be 30?
Yeah, 31.
31. Okay, so he's 31. He's got many more years or seasons left in him because of the position he plays and even his age. Some of these other, and I get what you're saying with the wide receivers, because I felt the same way. It's like, what is the difference between that? There's a big difference between some of the players, like the wide receivers especially, that were linked to possibly coming to us. They're older. They're past their prime. It's their position. Vita Vea is not past his prime in his position. Those wide receivers are past their prime. They're older. They've had multiple injuries. Some have, off-field questionabilities. They got questions with some of the shit that they've pulled. That's where I draw the line is that, and the fact that how useful will they be with a wide receiver room that is so full of young, impressionable kids, because they're kids. They're all kids. And you bring in a guy like a Stephon Diggs and what he's done in the past. Do you want to have them exposed to that? Vita Vea is a different type of player. Again, he's short in the tooth when it comes to being in that position. Unlike these other guys, they're long in the tooth at some of these wide receiver positions. And again, they're past their prime. These guys that are out here now, available for wide receivers, they're no Tim Browns or Jerry Rice's where they're playing so late into their career and are extremely still valuable. I look at these guys as still valuable in the wide receiver positions. Vita Vea is totally reliable at his position. He doesn't
Jeff,
have
are you
backs.
talking about free agent wide receivers
Yeah.
that are still available on free agency? There's
Yeah,
a reason
like
why they're still available.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Jason just said it. There's a reason why some of these guys are still available. So, and I get what you're saying. What's the difference? But I think there's a big difference between Vita Vea and these other players. But I definitely get what you're saying.
I totally understand that, my man. But at the same time, like, and I know we've been burnt as Raider fans from like that specific position with stars of the NFL. I don't know why they don't do right when they come here.
Yeah,
I don't get it. But when do we take an account of what's quality product? One, that's one conversation, to be like palatable for the season.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get the fans invested in the season when we know we're lacking so bad? But also, when do we acknowledge the Crabtrees and the Jerry Rice of the stardom that actually work? When do we give Biggs the merit of he comes with all this bullshit? Excuse my language.
Yeah, you're good.
But he comes with all of that. But at the same time, within the same year that he's going through all that stuff, he still managed to be a leader. And ability-wise, still being their best receiver, used in different variations of, okay, I'm going off this game, I'm sitting back, or I'm not translating, but I still get my team to the ultimate goal. When do we take that into account as well? And when it comes between like veteran wide receiver or stardom wide receiver versus a Vita Vea, I get where the fan base is at. But at the same time, like, just get good players in. Just get good players in, because if we can go out and say, okay, Vita Vea makes all the sense and rally behind it and feel like our voices are being heard and being accounted for in the actual organization, then we're still taking away from young players in that department, in the D-line department. But we want to make sure Jack Dash and Thornton get the time that they need. We didn't see a lot from the D-line either. We had questions about the D-line either. So I needed to line up, unless it's supposed to be a undertone behind why Vita Vea is cool, but like veteran wide receivers is going to be lacking, because I don't think people get the importance of what good wide receiver play can do for the running game, and what bad wide receiver play can hinder Gentry. And then we look at Gentry as the sixth pick and be like, man, he didn't do nothing this year. Well, if we had a passing game, then we could put everything on the line as far as evaluation of Gentry to say, hey, you don't have an excuse. But with bad wide receiver play, you don't really have an excuse, but we frustrated and we still gonna blame Gentry. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I guess one way to look at this, and this is my opinion on this, Vita Vea will have an immediate impact. Just him himself doesn't have to rely on anybody else. A wide receiver is going to have to rely on the offensive line being able to block for our quarterbacks, no matter who it is. Then it's the matter of who's our quarterback getting him the ball, too. And there's more. In other words, there's more steps involved to make that wide receiver be what he's really worth as a number one. Whereas Vita Vea is an immediate walk into this locker room, grabs his uniform, and he goes out there and he just does his thing. He doesn't have to rely on other guys. Other guys don't have to rely on. Well, they have to rely on him too, but he.
And on top of that, Jeff, just
Well,
the
Jason?
same thing that you're saying is the wide receiver is going to be in on every snap. Where Vita Vea, you don't have to play him every defensive snap. This is where the game changes. He's a plug and play that now makes those third and shorts that much more difficult for the opposing team.
Right, what Jason's saying, and it makes sense. The wide receiver will be out there every snap on offense, whereas Vita Vea is going to be more of a, like a rotational position too, basically. And how was it you worded, Jason?
That you don't have to depend on him every play. Whereas
you don't have to depend on him every play either. But I totally get what you're saying. It's like, why are we not willing to bring in a wide receiver? But yet, we're really talking seriously. And supposedly they've got a trade offer out there for him. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. Those are rumors I saw online that we did supposedly send some sort of an offer to Tampa Bay. What it is, no clue. If it's real or not, no clue. But yeah, I mean, I think there's just more factors involved with a wide receiver versus somebody that's a nose tackle. But I totally get what you're saying. I totally understand it.
Hey, man, it's been a pleasure. I got some clarity on that.
Thanks, man.
Because it's been bothering me a little bit just with...
it's a good question. It's 100% a great question, yeah.
Yeah. And there's many
I
ways to go
like
with
Raider
the
Nation, too, for okay, a lot of people I've seen keep the same stance because I was waiting on that because I know Vita Vea is the type of guy that, Raiders could get behind. And I'm with it.
Yeah.
But I'm with it in the overall. If we can get better at every department, every position, it's cool. No. We don't need to settle. Raider Nation, y'all never need to settle. Because it's time to get back to what we've been.
Oh, yeah.
Where we've been, for real.
It's been too long.
And I appreciate you again.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling in, man, and spending your time with us, man. It's been awesome. Thank you very much.
No problem. I'm going to check back in the chat.
All right, man. Thanks, man. Take care.
And also, too, if we were to make that trade, and I'm just saying if we make that trade, going into the draft next year, that just means we don't have to focus that much on trying to get a defensive tackle in the draft. We can focus more on the wide receiver position, another linebacker, maybe another offensive tackle, depending on how these guys pan out. I'm seeing Charles Grant playing on the right side. What does that do with DJ Glaze? What does that do with Trey Zune? Because those guys are gonna. I'm not gonna use the compete bullshit.
You better not.
But the intensity and the way these guys are gonna play out, the five best guys that are gonna be out there, at least we know we're gonna have a couple guys sitting back that are just as hungry and just as good to go in there and fill out. I said it last year. I'll just refresh your memory, and I said this many times last year. Right? I said there are guys that are backups on other teams that are better than our team, our offensive line. We had the 34th best offensive line in the NFL, and there's only 32 fucking teams. So that ought to tell you something right there.
I know what this is. You're on Raider Nation Voices with Jeff and Jason. State your name.
Hey, this is Donis Duncan.
What's up, Duncan? What's going on, man?
Duncan.
Oh, not much. Just figured I'd call in before I hit the hay.
What's up?
Talking about Vita Vea, and Jason and I and Darkside on our show talked about it a couple months ago on our show. I think I'm kind of more in line with Q. If that's how he is going with this question, is I don't think we should go trading for anybody.
Okay.
I just say we roll with the guys we have and see what we got. That way we know at the end of the season exactly what we have and what direction we need to go in continuing the rebuild. And I know Jason has the point that Vita Vea is still in his prime for his position, which is true. I'm not denying that. But we also have a bunch of young guys that are still trying to get reps and playing time. And if they catch fire during the season, and we have a vet there, he's going to be taking that time away from them from getting more valuable reps.
Yep.
True.
Yep. And that's a good point too. I mean, I'm not hard stone on exactly what we should do with that situation. I'm really not. But, and to Duncan's credit, and I do owe him an apology, just merely suggesting it, because way back when I said we don't need to be giving up draft capital just to go make a splash play. I'm tired of making the splash plays.
Jason's talking. Sorry, I forgot you couldn't hear him.
Just mentioned to him about us going and making splash trades. We need to stop doing that anyways.
He's saying we just need to stop making splash trades anyways.
We don't need to be?
Yeah, we need to not be making splash trades. Like this would be a big one, for sure.
No, I definitely agree that this would be a trade that I'd be interested in, but I'm still more holding firm on, like, let's see what we got. And to add on to, like, how Jason says that we can make up those picks that we trade away easily, I agree with that. But we could also keep those picks and get more picks on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, why not just keep trying to invest through the draft, and then when we finally get into a position where a couple of vets could really push us over the edge, then we go take that shot.
No.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I still would take Vita Vea this year, though. Sorry.
There's pluses and minuses
that's fine. It's not a bad opinion. It's not something where, like...
I look at it this way, because the more lethal you make that defense, the better position you're putting our offense in every time they come back out on the field. Because if you've got a way, way more improved defense than what we had last year, and they're controlling the field against whatever offense we're playing against each week, where to the point where they're giving a shorter field back to the offensive line, or they're preventing teams from scoring, so our offense isn't having to go out there and score 21 plus points every game, because our defense is putting more pressure on the opposing offense. And you know what I mean? Like last year, there were some games where our defense couldn't stop anybody, and at the same time, our offense couldn't do anything. I've seen that in the games last year. I saw one of them in person, and it was absolutely disgusting. That Philly game to this moment still blows my mind. How we never crossed the 50-yard line on offense. Our defense was getting pushed around and manhandled like we were little kids out there on a playground. It was a disgusting display of football. It was pathetic. And then we go next week, after that, play against Houston in Houston, and almost beat them. And had a hell of a game all the way around on all aspects, offense, defense, special teams. And it's like, where the hell were these guys a week ago? And now all of a sudden they show up? What the frig? Consistency, not consistently sucking, but consistently being good. And that's what we didn't have last year. And that's what I'm hoping to see this year. And that's one of the benefits of bringing in a guy like Vita Vea, that automatically just elevates your defense even more. On top of the moves that we made between the draft and free agency and re-signing of our own players. I think we've got a good, solid nucleus on the defense, and this would just be another whole level to it. What's up, Alec? I see him in the chat.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Vita Vea is a hell of a player, which is why I said this is one of the trades where I'd actually be interested in.
Yeah.
But I'm also, like, under the belief that we were so terrible last year, both in coaching and player personnel-wise, that we're not going to be able to fix all the holes that we had. Now, that being said, they did a hell of a job in revamping a lot of the spots, I mean, they heavily invested in the DBs. They went and got 2 stud linebackers. They went and got Quiddy Pay to help assist the edge. They went and got Naylor because we don't know what we have in our receivers, so they didn't want to fully invest in that and then make 2 of our picks that we had last year be a total waste.
Yeah.
So we were so bad that it's pretty much impossible to fill every single hole that we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
So this year is more of like, let's see what we got, and during this process, let's try to start putting in quality wins by the end of the season to where, okay, now we know how to win. Now we know what our weaknesses are. Now we can fix those, and then next year we can really start to compete.
Yeah, I mean, and that's ultimately the goal. I mean, this year is another growing period. You know, next year is going to be where we see the fruits of the labor of this season. You know, that's. Am I looking forward to the season? Oh, hell yeah! I'm looking forward to see what we do in 2027, how we improve on 2026. You know.
Yeah.
We didn't improve
definitely
from 2024 to 2025. We got worse. You know, so from 2025 to 2026. You know, let's hope that we're on that mend where we're in the upward trend, and next year it's just take it to the next level. You know? So,
yeah.
I'm psyched.
Like, also, like, the coaching was so horrendous last year everywhere, where hopefully this upgrades in coaching, like, that's going to add to our win total, like, right there, hopefully.
I hope so.
And just the coaching.
Also, this is the first year where we're actually investing in, like, okay, this is a rebuild, clean slate. We're starting from ground zero. So hopefully we can actually build a foundation to actually improve upon instead of trying to keep scrapping all the interior walls and make it bare bones and redo it that way. Like, we're actually setting a foundation.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, definitely. 100%. You could see it. I mean, it's so obvious to see.
Yep. Want to see more.
But
I think we're hungry. I think we're hungry as fans, Jeff.
Go to bed here pretty soon, so I'll let you guys go on. Hopefully, you continue having a great.
Don't let him go. Don't let him go just yet.
Oh, hold on, Jason said don't leave just yet.
So, Jeff, if you want to go ahead, I put the banner up at the top. Raider Nation, show me your shield. Sundays, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. For those of you that are in chat, the caller that's on the phone, my partner on that show, Donuts Duncan, and myself, come on in. We will be going live every Sunday at 5 o'clock after the games, and when you guys are all lathered up after a game, and we can talk about it, because that's exactly what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be all lathered up. So
basically, what he's doing, Duncan, so if you want to say something, you can while you're on here. He mentioned he's bringing up the plug for your show tomorrow night, the Raider Nation Show Me Your Shield, tomorrow at 5 p.m. So he said when the fans are all lathered up, that's why I started giggling. So if you want to say anything before, it's your chance now too.
I mean, Jason does a lot of hype talking. Like, I'm not very good at it, so I'm sure he did a good job of hyping up the show for us. That being said, Jason and I both are pretty down to earth, and we try to keep a pretty accurate and truthful telling of what's going on with the Raiders, and we discuss it and what we think it means for the team and where we think the team should go and what we're excited about, and we really try to keep the audience involved. So we love it when everybody comes in, stops by, and leaves a comment so we can talk about it. And because that's what that show's all about, is we really want to bring Raider Nation together so we can all talk about it and agree, disagree, argue, slap each other across the face and give each other hugs the next day. Like, I mean, that's Raider Nation. It's a brotherhood. Like,
oh yeah,
we sit here and argue and go back and forth, and then come game day, we're all hugging each other and rooting for the Raiders.
Yep, 100%. So anybody that's in the chat right now, make sure tomorrow on Jason's channel, Raiders First Downs, or Donuts Duncan's. Donuts Duncan is his channel. It's Raider Nation Show Me a Shield, Sundays, every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's 8 o'clock for you East Coasters. So it's definitely well after the Raiders game is over. So it gives you the opportunity to listen to them, get into the chat as they give you their take on the game and break it down as best they can in such short notice, and actually listen to you guys bitch in the chat about how we suck here or how we look good here. And so make sure you guys check it out. Tomorrow they're on at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure you guys check these guys out. So, but thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Appreciate you.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to get involved with the discussion, Mr. Helper.
I don't know why you're doing it. He ain't gonna hear it.
He'll hear it on the replay.
Yeah. Lewis, I know you asked the question earlier. Supposedly, Kwity Paye was injured yesterday. He walked off under his own power off the training field, the practice facility, with the trainer. There's been no news of it. There was a rumor leak supposedly that it was because he was dehydrated, and if that's just the case, then there's nothing to worry about. The one thing that did come out of it was Kuntz stepped up immediately and went in to take over his spot on the playing with the ones. And I think he had like a sack or two too, actually, if I'm not mistaken, is what I heard too. When it was
our touch sack.
Yeah,
he touched the red jersey.
Yeah, got you. No, you didn't. I moved this way and you didn't see it.
I was on base.
Yeah.
I was on base.
Raider Paul popped in while we were on the phone with Duncan. What's up, Raider Paul? Let's see. Roy, what's up, Roy? I see you in here. If there was a wide receiver with Vita Vea pedigree, we would pursue them. Oh, absolutely. 100%. If Stephon Diggs was a few years younger, still playing in the highest ability that he could, and didn't have these off-field issues, by all means, man, go for it. I just don't like players that have that excess baggage off-field issues because that can become a detriment to the team, plain and simple. That's the last thing you need. And all of a sudden the guy's like, you know what? Perfect. I'll give you a perfect example. A guy that we had on our roster last year, okay? We let him go. We didn't re-sign him. He's gone. Gets picked up by another team, and all of a sudden, bam, finally gets hit with a 3-game suspension from the NFL for a DUI charge.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shit I'm talking about. You don't want to take somebody that's got pending issues because it could ultimately hurt your team in the long run. Like, you lose the guy because the NFL fines him. And people that don't realize, I'm talking about Snowden. So we let him go, goes to Dallas, practicing with them the whole 9 yards. NFL comes down with their ruling after their investigation. Now, this is a charge he got when he was with us already. Right. So we already knew the consequences, or the potential consequences. So we didn't keep him, let him go. Cowboys took a chance, grabbed him, bang, out for 3 games. So your first 3 games of the season, you don't have this guy that you brought in as a free agent.
No. Especially when you got guys that are free agents that they're still a free agent and they got a 6-game suspension hanging over their head.
Exactly.
It's like, how do you sign a guy like that and go, okay, we're going to sign you and bring you in so you can sit for 6 games and muddle everything up for us, and we got to go. We need people today, not 6 weeks down the road.
And I know someone will sit here and say, well, what about Quishon Junkins last year for the Browns? He got suspended. It's a draft pick, first of all, okay? That I think that's a little bit different of a situation. You're talking about going out and bringing in a guy purposely that has an issue, okay? You're talking about a rookie running back that you drafted. You've got a long time with this kid.
No.
Unless he gets suspended indefinitely, that's a different situation. But any free agents you're bringing in that have this possible off-field issue hanging over their head, that's a threat to your team. It's a threat in your consistency to your team. Why would you want to put yourself through that? It just doesn't make sense. If I was the Cowboys, I wouldn't have touched Snowden with a 10-foot pole. Absolutely not.
No. 3 games ain't too bad, though.
Coach just asked how Cousins look. From what I hear, he looks stiff. I know I watched the video of him running the wind sprints, and I think he's under the feeling like, hey, I'm 38 years old. I'm not running these things full speed. It's like he's wearing sweatpants out there because I don't think anybody wants to see it. He doesn't want to show off his chicken legs.
Yeah, but also too, when are they taking that video? Because usually, and you know, and I know, when you're 37, 38 years old, beginning of practice, you kind of want to take your time warming up a little bit. Things pop and crack a little bit
You
faster.
don't want to pull or break anything.
Right. So let the young bucks get out there and but him, he's like, yeah, I'll be good to go when we get practicing. This is just warm ups. So, what I've heard so far with Cousins is he's pretty consistent with his practices, but he's had a couple that really kind of stood out a little bit with how he's able to get people into place pre-snap, get them in the right position, and have no pushback whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I would give Cleveland a little bit of slack on that because it is a rookie, and depending on what he was going to be fined, I mean, it's either short term and he's a rookie. You got a long way with him. Snowden, you've got limited time. He's only going to be there for, how many years has he got left as a player? That's different. First of all, Cleveland Sox, we all know that. They ain't going anywhere. They weren't going to make the playoffs last year. Dallas is always saying it. This is our year. The fans are. The team's always trying to play. They're playing in a tough division. The NFC East is not an easy division. The Redskins seem like they're coming around. The Giants are going to be improved. The Eagles are still the Eagles. They haven't changed much. So they're in a tough division, and now you just wasted a roster spot on a guy that's suspended for 3 games. That's smart move.
Nah.
Cincinnati and Cleveland are probably the worst organizations in the league.
Hey, throw Kansas City in there with this bull crap too. They're the only ones that got a parole officer on payroll.
Everybody gives the Eagles crap having a jail cell and a judge
in the practice facility. At the practice facility, not at the stadium, at the practice facility. They got lawyers on the stage. They got Dewey Cheatham and Howe law firm right there waiting for him to represent any one of their players. And I'm sure they keep their lawyers humming with those guys.
Yep. So Lewis says, Jeremiah Smith is the wide receiver I'd want the Raiders to pursue in April, even if they have to move up to draft the youngster. I hope that's who we got, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
just pray to God he has a good
everybody's going to want him. He'd probably be the number 1 pick in the draft next year if he produces like he should. And
which is why
really
we shouldn't win any games this year.
Oh, you want to tank for Jeremiah Smith?
Why not? Give Mendoza a fucking lethal weapon right off the bat if he's going to
I say we trade back.
Huh?
I say we trade back.
Well, we could have if we still had that Baltimore's first-round pick next year.
I'm kidding, Jeff. I'm kidding. I'm using one of your taglines. Trade back. Trade back.
Why would you trade back? If anything, you're going to trade up.
For the 2 years that I've known you, both drafts, trade back was the first words out of your mouth.
The guys that we were talking about taking weren't worth taking at that position. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to discuss it no more. We took them. So, I'm just saying next year we're going to trade back.
And we're stuck with them.
We ain't stuck with them. We're stuck like it's a bad thing.
Genty's not going to be what everybody thinks he is. Mike Washington, keep an eye on him.
Nah.
Convicts come on over to the Chiefs. I mean, I have spoken to a former Bengal and it sounded bad. Yeah, I feel bad for Joe Burrow, man. They just have not done much to protect him up front. How he's even still there is beyond me. I'm surprised he hasn't asked to get the hell out of there.
Just for the sake of his health.
Yeah, right.
So I'll pay for $20 million for somebody else. Just get me out of here. But you know what? That organization's been like that for decades.
I told you when I wasn't doing any of this YouTube stuff or content creation stuff, but I remember when Cincinnati drafted him in that draft. I remember putting it on Facebook, saying, "Well, there goes Joe Burrow to the Bengals. That's the end of his NFL career." Yes, he's had some good, great years, obviously, but he's stuck on a team that's stuck in mediocrity. Yeah, they made it to a Super Bowl, but they got beat. But it's a shame because, man, there's so many other teams that he could have gone to, and my God, they'd be lights out. He would have easily won on a few other different teams. already.
Yeah. And somebody that's got a decent run game and a decent defense would really help him out. That's for sure.
Did you see? I thought it was kind of funny. I saw this too. Did you see the video of Trey Hendrickson doing the bag?
At Baltimore doing the the guy that was videotaping us. Oh my God, we let Max Crosby go for this. It was bad.
We kept him and we kept him instead of Max Crosby or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Oh my! I'm watching this. I'm like, my God, Max is so much faster than that.
Yeah,
he's way more agile. You know what it is though? Trey Hendricks he's more of a
He's a one-play pony. That's it.
Yeah, he's more of a bull rush type guy. He's got the muscle build, whereas Max doesn't. Max is more of a finesse guy. I swear, Max, for a guy that supposedly is always in the gym, hasn't put on an ounce of muscle since he's been. His biceps look the same size today as they did when he got drafted. But he's in the gym every day. Does he not do curls or bench press? I mean, what the hell does he do?
Who?
Seriously?
Max?
Yeah, what does he do? It looks
he
like
does all that. When he trains MMA stuff and his hand is in his twitch. Yeah, there's power in it. It doesn't look like it, but he's got power in those arms.
Yeah, he might have power, but man, it doesn't look like. I mean, you stand him and Quiddy Pace side by side, or you even throw in what's his name, the rookie, Keon Crawford. Stand him next to him. You wouldn't know that they all play the same position.
Yeah.
They've all got like a muscle built to them. They've got strength. They've got power. You know, you don't see that with Max. Max is not going to overpower somebody. He's going to out finesse you. He's going to possibly run around you a little bit. You know, these other guys have the ability to like toss a blocker. You know, if they got the leverage.
Yeah, Max isn't about getting up underneath people's shoulder pads and driving them. He's never really done that. It's usually, and even his tackles, he just gets away from the block instead of trying to take on the block and shed it. He just gets away from it. And there's been times where he's ducked around and then come back to backside and still made the tackle. And it's like, that's just quickness and twitch is where he's at. You know, he's got power. I mean, he wouldn't be in the NFL if he didn't have some power in him. But with his MMA training that he does and his twitch and his quick response and how he can get away and that Euro step that he does, it looks so awkward, but it's effective.
But see, I like Alex's comment here. It says, if you have strength like LT had, you're right, but you got to look at the errors too. Offensive linemen back then weren't the massive guys like you see now.
Yeah.
Granted, the Cowboys had an awesome, massive offensive line during LT's time. Yes. But a lot of your offensive linemen were a lot smaller than
275, 290 at best.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't see a lot of 300s out there. Larry Allen was the biggest at one point. Wayne Newton was another one that was a big one for the Giants, for the Cowboys. Yeah. You know, a lot of these other offensive linemen were just that. They were just strong, but they were smaller framed guys. Yeah, Art Shell and Gene Upshaw. Art Shell had a little more beef to him. Upshaw was taller. He had the long arms too. I mean, he was
but I don't think neither one of those were over 275, 280.
No,
I mean, you look at them back then. You thought maybe they were bigger, but I don't. Unless they were fudging their weight charts back then to throw people off. Oh, he's 275. No, he's 300. Nope. Put him down as 275. You know what I mean? Unless they were doing stuff like that. You never really saw back then. You never really saw 300 pounders. I mean, I think Jim Otto was 250 pounds. I mean,
yeah, it was extremely small for him.
That's strong safety size now.
Yeah, even back in the day, the centers were not that big. You know, now they're pushing 300 or over 300 for some of your centers, your guards, your tackles. They're all big. Your tackles are usually your tallest. They're usually like the 6'4", 6'6", 6'7" guys. You know, your centers are usually the shorter guy on your offensive line for the most part. You know, although Linderbaum's pretty tall, he's a big boy.
Yeah. I still like my nose tackles a little short, a little on the 6'2", that 6'1", 6'2", 340 range.
Oh, they got to be big, like
big but
not height.
compact.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Compact. And Get that.
Well, you don't want them tall. You want them shorter because you want that lower center of gravity. You don't want a 6'7" fucking nose tackle. He's going to get whooped.
Yeah.
You know, he's never going to get lower than the offensive lineman ever. It's not going to happen. What's up, Ricky? What's going on, man?
Ricky Bears, what's happening, man? And Mark Bates is in here as well. Salute to you, Mark. Thanks. What's up with you, brother?
What's up, brother? What's going on, man?
Yeah. And I think Bawana Beast Eats Killer Tofu has admitted to being a Broncos fan, but in all respect, because we respect the chat that's in here, he's been pretty good. And you'll never be Marcus Banks, our resident Tennessee Titan fan that comes in here quite a bit. Had a sighting of him yesterday on my show. But if you come in, and we'll respect you as well. I have many Bronco fans that I can sit down and have conversations with and not make it a freaking Family Feud fight type thing. We can have good discussions.
Yeah, Blana's been pretty cool in the chat. I've been watching him.
Yeah, he's been good. And shout out to you, brother, for respecting us in the Raider Nation with your, just talking ball. Hey, and if you want, on Friday nights, the skipper next to me here has a show called The No Huddle. Same concept, but it's open to all NFL. He's reaching out to all the NFL fans, not just Raider fans.
Yeah, the No Huddle show, I cover the news from the last week, so next week it'll be all the news that's happened in the NFL from yesterday, Friday, till next Friday.
Yep.
I cover.
And you'll have a Hall of Fame game to talk about.
Huh?
You'll have a Hall of Fame game to talk about.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'll have the preseason game, the Hall of Fame game to talk about for sure. So definitely check my channel out on Friday nights. It's called No Huddle. It goes on at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. So you might want to check that out. Yeah. There will be a lot of Raider fans in there. There usually is, but I'm getting more and more fans of other NFL teams. So Lewis says, I believe Trey Zoom and Charles Grant will be good for our Raiders whole line for years to come. I think so too. I'm just worried about JPJ right now to see what happens with him.
You know, so far they've got him slotted predominantly right guard, and he's been running heavy with the ones with no changes at that point, which I think a lot of us expected that with, once again, best ability availability, right? So if he can stay available and play at a high rate at the right guard, he has all the talent in the world to play right guard and be really good at it. So we will see. We'll see how the old injury bug creeps up on him.
I'm about ready to get out of here. We're 2.5 hours.
Are you? Oh, man. It seems like we just started like 5 minutes ago. What are you talking about? I missed you, Jeff. I really do. I have missed.
No, this is fun getting back in here again.
Even though I try and call you and say, hey, buddy, what's going on? Can't talk right now. Click. Hang up on me. Next time I think I'll just call, hi, this is Bill from Microsoft. You'll probably talk to me then, huh?
No.
Hey, you probably even changed my contact in your phone to spam. So every time it pops up.
It says spam risk.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
I put a little lowercase JD next to it, so I know it's you. So I can just
I've been busy the past few months with stuff. Did a destruction derby car. That was a lot of fun. I didn't drive it. It was a friend of mine asked me to help on it, and we finished putting it together. And I painted it after we got it all put together. I painted it with a rattle can. Turned out really nice. You saw the pitch. I sent you the pictures.
Yeah.
Turned out pretty cool. From a distance, it was like, ooh, that's a nice paint job for a destruction derby car. Yeah, it's a rattle can. Don't worry about it. So it took me a lot of rattle cans. I think I used 28 cans of paint to paint it.
That's insane.
Yeah, I thought I got carpal tunnel. I came home one night, my fingers like this from holding the spray paint. You know,
You should have bought one of those. You should have bought one of those.
The handle, the grip handle. I don't like
so
those. I can't control the paint. I'm so used to doing it.
All right, Picasso. You're not painting the Mona Lisa with the fucking thing. You're painting a goddamn car. That's going to be in a smash-up demolition derby. So
I get that, but my
you don't
reputation
have
was
to
on
be
the line.
precise with it. You tape it off if you have to. You put tape and then you just. Who cares if you can't get a good grip?
Now I just can't. If for some reason using those,
If you can't get a good grip on it, that's a problem.
Well, it's the release. I'm so used to like controlling the paint this way because if you press down and then pull back, it gives you more paint, and you push forward, it gives you less paint, type thing. So like
tips by JD Raiders first downs on Saturday.
Hey,
night.
did you see the curb I just painted for a friend of mine? Did I send you that curb, that gray one with the Raiders logo on it?
Yeah.
That turned. I told the lady when I got done, I go, I'm not gonna lie. If I come back in the middle of the night and you hear a saw out here grinding on your concrete, it's because I'm cutting this curb out to take it home with me. Because it turned out way nicer than mine that I hit with the truck after I was talking to Jeff on the phone. Dumbass.
While on the phone with me, backing up his truck, I hear him go, "Ah, shit! He just painted the one in front of his house, and he hit it with his own car, and he scraped half the paint off the damn thing." He
had to sand it back down and start over again. And the first one was nicer than the second one. After I got done with the second one, I was like, man, the first one was so much better. Man, I screwed this one. It's like, I was so pissed off.
Jeff, you were fantastic today. Jason was a little He's getting back.
Hey, Will, one of these days I would like you to come on my Show Me the Shield show one of these days. That'd be fun.
Who's Will?
It's Will, right? Oh, no, that's Silver and Facts.
Silver and Facts. You're thinking of Silver and Black podcast. That's Raider.
That's Raider Will. Silver and Facts.
Wow, he didn't even know who you were.
Who's Silver and Facts?
Oh my God.
Who is it?
Use the turbo can. I would use brushes and rollers. Yeah, exactly, right?
Hey, that's what I'm doing next year. I'm just gonna get a gallon of paint because you could buy that cheap. You can buy cheap tractor paint at Tractor Supply for like $30 and just pour a gallon of it into and roll it. I was like, no, but he wanted it because it was for his business, because he wanted to advertise his business for the Destruction Derby. So we put big decals of the business down the side, and then I painted the numbers on the rear deck lit on the rear quarter panel, and then did the red down the middle, and then I built a shark fin for the top that had his logo up on top. And
was it a happy little shark fin? Let's not call you Bob Ross.
No, it was just two pieces of sheet metal that I riveted together and bent the bottom of it so it had a platform to sit on top of the roof. And then he had two decals made, and we just put the decals on it that had his company logo on it. It was cool. It turned out really nice. And then stuck the American flag. I built the thing, put the American flag in the trunk. So that was cool. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, that car we're going to use the car again next year. It's still usable. So he just broke the steering column midway through the second round.
You got to resalvage the paint job.
Yeah. And then he bought another one, a 1979 Lincoln Town Car. It's like the trunk of it is literally the size of my truck.
The hood itself, the whole front end is massive too.
Yeah. That's what I told him. I was like, good God. It's got a big old 460 cubic inch motor in it. Yeah, that thing's going to be a blast when we get that thing done. So, but I'm not.
Supposedly, it looks like Darian Porter's been looking pretty good so far too.
Yeah, Yeah, they're pretty happy with him.
Yeah.
They're pretty happy with him. So, and you always you expect that out of a high draft pick because he was a second or third round pick. Third round pick. So you'd expect that in the second year you see some progression, and hopefully the progression that we see is that.
Yeah. Hey, Jack Betch, did you hear that? Thornton, did you hear that? Second year should be some progression. Tap.
Need to see some progression.
You guys hear that?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Thornton gets cut.
Oh, Roy, there's a good chance of that happening too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Seriously, I wouldn't be surprised. So, all right, everybody, I think we're going to get out of here for the night.
I've had fun tonight.
Yeah, this has been good. This has been really good. It's been nice to get back on screen with you again. Have fun. Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah.
So next, so you got your show coming up tomorrow, Raider Nation Show Me Your Shield at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night. Yep. You got anything else coming up?
Fridays, Raiders Pride and Poise at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Try and get that lunch crowd. So if you guys are on your lunch on Fridays, pull your cell phone out, pop up in with us. It's a solo show, but I have a gentleman by the name of Black the Quarterback. Business decisions at business BIZZINESS decisions. Scroll through. I don't have the link. I guess I could probably clip the link real quick and throw it in there. He is a content creator that was doing mainly all sports, basketball, baseball type stuff. And he decided, you know what? He's from the East Bay of Vallejo. Well, he's from Vallejo. Grew up there. Same age as us. I mean, I think he's like 7 months younger than me. Same mentality, same everything. But he's been doing a lot of. He's been working really hard, doing 10 shows a week off his own channel, because he's monetized, but with the Raider content side, he's a little bit on the low side. So, if you give me a second, I'll get his link, and so I could throw it in the chat real quick. So those of you guys that are out there, if you could just subscribe to his channel. I've been going on his channel. In fact, next Friday we're starting a show at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It might fluctuate between 5 and 7, depending on who we get on. It's going to be Fight or Flight, a pure debate show. Got some pretty good heavy hitters coming in, some good content creators that are going to be coming in, and so there's going to be some debate. It might get a little testy at times on this show, to say the least. But he's doing a really good job. In fact, I talked to him on the phone today. We're throwing some ideas around and whatnot. But I just dropped it in a link, you guys. If you guys can copy and paste that, go sub to his channel, and set your notifications for him with his channel. Let's get it growing. He already has a big following, so he's already monetized from his previous content that he was doing. But on the Raider side, he's a little bit on the short end, so we get that Raider side of it coming up. And you got to watch him on my show one time. The guy's pretty good.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So, and he's very knowledgeable of this of the Raiders historically. I mean, he goes back the same distance as us, to the late 70s all the way through, and he'll say the same thing that you say. We've seen Super Bowl wins with our Raiders. Not a lot of Raider fans out there that we have today that have seen a Super Bowl win that can enjoy it like we have. So,
yeah, Martin, I saw you post that. I'm like, nah, it's been. It was supposed to be tomorrow night. Thank God. I'm glad somebody agreed to want to move it, because I was going to suggest it if somebody else didn't say it.
Yeah.
Because to have the draft tomorrow night would be ridiculous. Yeah. That early in preseason or during training camp, where there's a chance of players that you're going to draft in tomorrow night would still be cut. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I won't be.
And if there's any new guys in here that haven't subscribed to my channel, my link right there, Raiders First Downs at youtube.com. Go in there, sub to my channel. I'm 195 away from the 500 mark. I'll do a little something special for the 500 folks. I know a lot of content creators do that when they hit the 500. I'd love to get to 500 before the end of the season, but if you guys can help me get up to 1,000 before the end of the season, good night. JD is not afraid to splurge a little bit for his chatsters, so just keep that in mind.
Always that date. No. It was originally scheduled for tomorrow. It was originally supposed to be tomorrow. Yeah, way too early. That's what I said. That's crazy.
I'm not doing any fantasy this year. No fantasy football this year.
Yeah, I'm in a couple now, but I'm not running any of them. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
Besides, it's bad enough I got to do the draft on the 30th. I'll be fine because I don't leave for Vegas until the 9th. But there's one of my other leagues that we're going to have a draft. It's probably going to be right around that time. I'm going to be in travel mode by like the 6th of September. That I'm going to be getting everything together for last minute shit. So I ain't doing anything. No drafts on those days. And if anybody plans a draft that I'm in that league, then I'm leaving. I won't be able to do it. So as far as me coming up this week, I've actually got a lot of stuff coming up this week. So Tuesday night, I will be on Most Notorious with myself, LV Raider 10, Leo, Cheeto Linus, and Raider Will. And on Wednesday, I'm going to be a special host on the Cage Match. So Cage Match is coming back again. Raider Savage asked me to co-host with him because
but he didn't
Asylum is still away. Huh?
That guy, Savage, didn't ask me. He asked you.
Yeah, he asked me.
There's a.
It's because I co-hosted with him before. I filled in for Savage before.
Yeah,
I filled in for both. I filled in for Savage one day, and I filled in for Asylum one day. So I had to give him a list of.
You just let him know there's a special guest going to be in the chat that night, Wednesday night.
Okay. So Cage Match, go to that channel. Make sure you guys hit that sub, hit the notification. I probably will not be streaming to my channel. It will just be, I'll be on there as a guest host, so make sure you guys check that out. It's called The Cage Match.
Great show. Great show, too.
Thursday night, I will be on with, no, I won't be. I will not, Nate and I will not be on Thursday night. He's got family coming over, and he's going to be going to the training camp practice. So I will not be doing a show with him Thursday night.
I'm not doing anything Thursday.
Friday night, I will be on my No Huddle show, normal time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. And then next Saturday night, Jason and I will be right back here again next Saturday doing the same thing we did today.
Yep.
Having fun.
It's those phone calls.
Yep.
We had a good night tonight with some phone calls.
There you go. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate that.
Yep. Thanks, Martin. Appreciate that. Exactly. We had some really good phone calls tonight. Believe it or not.
We did.
We had some really good phone calls. And there's some guys out there that we know that have the ability to make good phone calls. You dial that number, 401-830-9189. But I think we're going to close the phones down now, right?
Yeah, I just closed them.
Okay.
Only other thing, anybody that caught that pop-up show I did last Sunday with the two guys from the AFC West teams, one from the Broncos, one's from the Chargers. I'm going to reach out to them. Might do another late night pull-up tomorrow night with them.
Invite them over to your No Huddle show.
Not yet. I'm thinking about it. I want to do something with both of those guys. Got to find a Chiefs fan. I want to do like a AFC West type show.
It's hard to find Chiefs fans around here anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And if not, I'll just do it with the three of us. I'll do it with the Broncos fan, the Chargers fan, and myself. We'll just have fun with it. Fuck it. I don't care. Because that was just a late night pop up type thing, and we ended up being on for 2.5 hours last Sunday night. It was great. It was fun. But I got nothing else.
Nothing else
Jason,
here.
you good?
Great chat tonight. Salute to Arnie Garza with the fire. He was bringing it hot and heavy from the beginning. So shout out to him. Good
I
job,
apologize, Arnie. I can't get to all your questions sometimes in the chat because you come in rapid fire with them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be highlighting anybody else's comments. It'd all be his questions.
On today's show, Arnie Garza. No, but he's a good dude, man. Brings in good takes.
So I got nothing else. I thank everybody for being here. Our moderators in both channels, thank you very much for being here. Super chats. Anybody that's been put up the membership milestone, how long you've been a member of my channel, I appreciate those. Appreciate the super chats. It's how we keep this thing going, man, so we can bring you good content every week, upgraded graphics, the whole 9 yards. So make sure you guys, if you missed the intro, make sure you check it out. Rewatch the start of this show and see the intro that Jason made. And our outro is the one that we've been using prior to, correct?
Yeah, it'll be the same outro as before.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I haven't got around to re-upping my game on that one. Got to step up my game for that one. That one's even the outro is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, it is. Well, I got nothing else other than to say, stay safe, everybody, and go Raiders.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.
That too.
Raider Nation, that's going to do it for tonight. We appreciate everyone who called in, everyone listening, and everyone who brought the heat. This isn't just our show. This is your platform, your takes, your voice. If you didn't get through tonight, don't worry. The phone lines will be open again next time. Until then, keep representing the silver and black wherever you are for everyone here. Thanks for tuning in, Raider Nation. Please, 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 have a take and don't suck. We'll see you next time. This is Raider Nation Voices.